You excited?
Hi. There we go. We're starting to stream now, everyone, by the way. I didn't even notice you called until now.
Alright, hold on.
But what's up, everybody who's ready to Gamescom it up?
Who's ready to Gamescom?
Who's ready to Gamescom?
I don't know what to expect, if it's going to be good or not.
Yeah, I'm excited for Prehistoric Kingdom. I think that's kind of like the given for everyone. But other than that, I'm kind of an open book.
Yeah, I mean, because the issue is I'm worried that I should probably start anyway. Hold on.
Do your stream thing.
Yeah, hold on.
We got 50 seconds till it goes live. But what's up, everybody in chat? How we all doing? Hope you're all having a good one. Thanks for joining. SD and I will try and not piss off Nick today so that he leaves. I will try not to do that.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, Leaf said he has a meeting, but he'll be popping in.
Okay.
I love that he does that. I love that he's like, oh yeah, I'm just at work, but now I'll come in.
I know, that's why I wasn't sure if he was going to join, because he's kind of random like that, right? He just gets kind of like, hey, I have a meeting for 10 minutes, and then I can join for a half hour, and then leave for 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, he said he has a short meeting, and then he'll probably pop in. I don't think there's going to be anything that interesting in the first... I'm assuming in the next 18 seconds, we're just going to get Jeff Keighley's face being like, hello, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of Gamescom.
Yeah.
Who's excited to be here?
I'm sure, right? Yeah, actually, speaking of that, let me pause my Spotify music in the background, and we will have the Gamescom audio live. So, if the audio is a little messed up, everyone, I'm trying my best. The audio that everyone's calling from and the Gamescom audio are all tied into like one thing, so
that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, because I hope my audio is good. Everyone on my end, please let me know if my audio is good, because yeah, I have the exact same setup,
right? So there might be a little bit where you're not gonna be able to hear us, like at least the guests like commenting on the Gamescom thing. You might hear like the Gamescom over us kind of thing, but we're doing the best we can.
Yep.
We could have done it the really crazy way and done the what's that program called, the banana program, and made all of our tracks separate, but that takes way too long.
All right, so we are starting off with indies.
All right. Oh, is that going yet? No, it's not going. So yeah, the indie live event. See, that doesn't start until like 2.
Oh,
or okay. 1:30. So like, I don't know what this first hour is. They could just be saying like how great they are, and just.
I must say, I'm really worried this is gonna be E3 all over again, where we are all waiting for JWE2 news, and it was just like the Triceratops is a dinosaur. And then that was like, remember, and then they played like the same trailer 3 times in a row.
Right. Yep. I also hope that's not a thing. Oh, here it goes. It says it's live on YouTube. Oh, it's on YouTube. Okay.
Throughout the day, but I'm not alone.
There we go.
I'm also joined by Michael.
Yeah, because I don't know what year I'm on the.
Thank you so much, Damon. Before we
that was on their website.
let you know about a few ways you can be a part of Gamescom from home.
Oh, can we?
There's Gamescom Now, a one-stop hub where you'll find all of the content coming out of Gamescom, from trailers,
like these people like look familiar, but I don't know the reasoning.
Plus,
maybe they're all part of like old G4.
By participating in the
yeah,
Gamescom
I think
Quest.
I think one of them might be from like the Young Turks. like one of the news channels. Which, that's always
Young Turks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
That's when you know this is gonna be a good game show. when you have a bunch of news channels.
Right, we had to get the scraps from the Young Turks.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
That's great. Now I know.
Because the other thing is like usually then you get like the cat like kind of funny or something will like come on, and then like just random
awesome indie
like,
games,
right,
tertiary IGN celebrities.
Soon, awesome indies, Gamescom Studio, the next gen console watch. We want the future, the thing at 3, which is like future games or whatever.
Okay. And then you said, when did PK say they were coming on?
Around then, I think like 306 for some reason.
Oddly specific.
Yeah, and I think even Stan confirmed that on their Discord. He's like, wait, 306? And Mao was like, yeah, 306.
I mean, to some extent, I actually kind of prefer that, because, like, let's say you only cared about PK. For that, you could literally be like, okay, I don't even have to show up at 3. At 3:03, they're going to have some other game on anyway.
Right.
You know?
Let's see, what's this? So yeah, that's what we're saying. Like, we don't know if we're going to be interested in any other game until Prehistoric Kingdom is showed, but I don't know. We like games, so may as well see what's coming out.
Well, because SM mentioned that he wanted to see Park Beyond.
Oh
now,
yeah.
I'm kind of like in a weird, because I do think I'm in agreement with you on that game, where it's quirky and stuff, and it's a little too quirky for me, where like they seem to show off a lot of like buildings and stuff with like hyper theming that isn't ever going to be good for, let's say you want to make a custom park that doesn't have a giant squid on the building or something. That's not really gonna help.
Yeah, and there's not, I don't have, I mean, I do. I personally, I don't really like Thrillville or those like wacky, crazy, out there kind of games. But even like for like that kind of game, it looked just a bit too. Well, and that's the other thing to consider. I might not even be remotely the target audience. It might literally be geared towards like 6 to 10-year-olds type of thing. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see from today. Like SDN's thinking there might be modular building. I don't think there's going to be modular building in it. I
think he's just blissfully hopeful for everything after being spoiled with like Frontier and PK.
Right. Hey Claire, yeah, no problem streaming this. We were planning on watching it anyways. We just decided that we'd do a dual stream of it, and hopefully all enjoy it.
Gaming Beaver is playing JWE 2 like right now.
He's streaming it?
Is he?
I thought yesterday was their time they had with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know how that works out. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe he's able to continue. I don't know. I don't see him streaming it. I don't know if he streamed on Twitch, but
I don't know. I only go on Twitch every Sunday night. Blood of Heroes.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen the game
play for free
since
in Blood of Heroes,
he kind of switched to like not Planet Zoo and JWE.
Yeah, I haven't watched Gaming Beaver in a while. Nothing against him. His content went a different direction.
Yeah, that's why I was literally like in my video. I was like, I'm using Best in Slots footage because I've at least interacted with Best in Slot and we have a pretty good relationship. That's the only reason I.
You know, speaking of that, like
over anyone else.
I know we're in that Safari pack with you, obviously, but he's been really cool. Like ever since, like he likes my stuff on Twitter. He's like retweeted every once in a while. I'm like, damn, dude, you're like a big content creator and you're being really cool.
Best in Slot's a very good, good guy. Like, he's definitely what. It's funny because he is the biggest content. Like everyone always talks about Rudy and Delaney. It's like no, Best in Slot's like 6 times.
He gets like 50 to 60,000 views a video.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but what I like is he is fine talking to someone who is like 1,000 subscribers. Like, and like he doesn't like need to rub it in anyone's face.
No, yeah, I think he liked one of the diorama builds I did. I was like, that's cool, dude.
Yeah, and like he pops into the modding Discord. He's a mod on the modding Discord, and we always make jokes about that because he doesn't actually moderate. He just hangs out because he's a big guy.
Oh, here you go. Estienne found from an article. He's been scouring the internet about these Park Beyond articles. He said, to build your perfect park, you're free to go wild using oodles of props and building parts to make your dream a reality. But Park Beyond takes things further. So maybe because of the oodles of props and building parts, but to me that kind of is buzzwordy for you can place down wagon wheels and a cart and a barrel.
Yeah, and like I don't know, it's tough because like on one hand I almost think that it's impossible to enter this space without addressing Planet Coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of the same thing. Like obviously it's different a little bit in the zoo community because we have like a lot of these like smaller games like Simply Zoo and Let's Build a Zoo, but they're not even I don't even count them as zoo games. They're more like small little side projects for
management, like little yeah, I know what you mean.
But if someone was to come out with an actual zoo game, it's impossible to ignore what Planet Zoo did, and that's what kind of where PK comes into play, where people are like, well, it's not really competing with those. It's like it absolutely is though, because if it wants to stand out, it has to do everything the other competitors do, and then do it better.
Right, and I mean, if they're supposed to be not competing with like Jurassic World Evolution and Planet Zoo to an extent, and I know that the dev team doesn't like to hear this, but why do they look exactly the same then? Because I mean, not exactly the same, but it's the same like feel, just with added on. Yeah.
Again, I wanted to make a video of that where like I love when they say, oh, we took some inspiration, but it's not at all.
Yes,
copy.
it is.
It's like if you play the announcement for early access trailer and like Planet Zoo's launch trailer, they literally time up the same. Like you have a lion roar. Yeah, a lion roars the same time as the like T-Rex roars. They have like in the launch trailer they have like a a side shot of a gorilla, then it zooms in on the gorilla, and it's the same thing within the pseudo.
That's
like,
awesome.
It's literally shot for shot the same, timed to the same. Like,
see, and I think they shouldn't get like, because I've seen them a few times get like, no, we're not like that at all. It's like, don't deny it, lean into it. Like, why deny it when it's obvious? Just actually lean into it and be like, yeah, we are the prehistoric zoo building game that looks like the planet, or there's other zoo building games out there, or whatever they want to say, but yeah, lean into it.
Yeah, because like it's one thing to be, oh, we took inspiration from Zootech, and like, yeah, it was the first, we get it. Like that's, oh, every 3D platformer took some inspiration from Mario. Yeah, we get it, but like, there's certain games that you can say I took inspiration from another thing that took inspiration from something else. Like, especially in a genre like this where it's like so vague, like a simulation tycoon zoo game. Of course, you took inspiration from every other zoo game that came before it, but
right.
It's very apparent though that you're clearly taking inspiration from the modern incarnation.
Well, who was it? I don't want to name drop, but I know they don't really care. Was it not Tobes, not Trico? So anyway, someone on your server, they posted in the Prehistoric Kingdom area, and they were for the new Prehistoric Kingdom beta things that they were teasing. They're like, I don't remember I remember when Planet Zoo added this to their base game too. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. It was probably Trico. Trico likes to troll like that. He's really good at Planet Zoo comedy. Like, he's a really funny guy when it comes to like shit posting.
Oh, I was watching some of his video. Well, he posted a fake quitting video or whatever, and then I went down the rabbit hole on his went down the rabbit hole on his channel.
Details on that too. He has plans for follow-up videos for that.
Good, keep it going, because it's just really funny to poke fun at certain creators who do that. But yeah, there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek like forum like jabs from his videos, and
he does that. He likes to make fun of me a lot, but I'm fine with he starts at, hey, what's up, you guys? It's Trico. I'm like, okay, yeah, like it is funny, and like I do like that.
He's doing it for you. It's like an endearment kind of thing where he actually likes what you do and your content. He's just having a bit of a troll.
I have no issue with it because, like, yeah, he is like a friend. Like,
yeah.
It's different, or it's like no different than if I like when Estan does the like, hey, Beyond True TV here, or, like,
yeah, right.
It's literally the same exact thing.
Oh, Winter Fun. We're talking about a user on a lot of the community Planet Zoo user who's kind of a fun troll and stuff like that. They do some funny things in the community.
Yeah. Again, I sometimes like some level of trolling in the community just because it lightens it up a little bit. Sometimes I feel like we're like in the Planet Zoo community, things can be like a little like everyone's too serious, and they get like, you know, a bit upset if you like make anything that's somewhat controversial.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of maybe adding a elephant tusk display. Whoa, just slow down there.
How dare you?
That's against, you know, blah blah X, Y, and Z of the AZA code, and it's like, just chill. Dude.
Yeah, I got like, even I got a comment today. I don't think it was like a nefarious thing or like a they didn't mean to like sound whatever, but they were like, oh, I hear you guys talking about wanting salmon as the exhibit animal. Just so you know, salmon actually need a lot of room, and it would be really inhumane to keep them in an aquarium that size. I'm like, dude, that's not the point we're trying to make. We're just saying it'd be cool in the zoo game to have a salmon. Like, that's as far as we're thinking about it. Like, I appreciate that you're like overthinking the digital animal game, but like, can we not do that?
If only they knew the actual reason Leaf and I made the salmon mod. The original reason is, do you remember when Leaf was doing it's kind of like a scrap thing now, but he had like a mini content creator, not really competition, but he wanted us all to make roller coasters.
Yeah.
Content. So I was designing a North American coaster, and it was called Kodiak, and it was based off of like Alaska.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I made a bunch of animatronic grizzly bears and stuff. And one of the things I wanted was a bunch of salmon doing like the salmon run.
Yeah, nice, jumping up the river and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like attaching them to the wheel prop and stuff. And that was the reason we made the salmon mod. Was I made that model specifically so that I could have them be eaten by bears.
Gotcha. It's funny because they weren't even talking about your mod. We had just mentioned it in one of our Pine Mountain videos, like how we were talking about future DLC plans and like animals we would like to see, and we just mentioned the salmon. Like they weren't even talking about your mod, which is kind of funny.
Oh, that's even funnier then.
Yeah, right. They were just saying overall. It's like, dude, can we not do that with the digital animal game and get all butthurt about animal space requirements according to the AZA and stuff like that? It's like it's a video game.
What kind of juiciness did I just miss regarding fish mod?
Talk about normal things now, like poop and urinating on things.
Yes.
Again, I have to give credit. If anyone hasn't seen Leaf's newest video, it's not his newest anymore, but
the 4-minute excellent video,
4-minute amazing video. I think it's called like something along the lines of like the feature we need to add.
The number one feature we need. Emphasis on number one.
No competition.
Yeah. That is an amazing video, and you should watch it.
Right, and it just gets better. It starts off pretty, Planet Zoo video, and by the end of it, it's Oscar-nominated, like, screenplay territory.
What I also hate, though, is, like, he brought up a lot of good points. Not even, like, why we need it, but just, it is a little hypocritical that everyone always cites how, like, realistic the game is, and they didn't add peeing for some reason.
I mean, like, as much of a troll as it was, like, I was serious when I said the other day, like, it is kind of a good point, and it would be kind of a cool gameplay feature to add in. Like,
yeah, it's just like a little thing where it's like, yeah, they went out of their way to add poop physics, so they didn't think once maybe you should also have them peeing. Like, it's just odd, like, especially for like when they always talk about how realistic everything is.
Right.
And another thing is too, Zoo Tycoon 2 had it, which is a baby. Like, I'll admit, it's a baby game, So at least give the more mature Planet Zoo audience.
Now, did it work like territory-wise, like with the peeing, or is it just like they were able?
No, it was just
because I was watching with Jurassic World Evolution 2, like their territory marker that they have around the animals. I think it'd be really easy to implement something like that, where they could like mark down their territory essentially.
Even if they didn't want to do peeing, I just think it'd be cool if they could like scratch up trees or something.
Right, and then it has like a little radius go around it for like 10 minutes or something like that, then it slowly goes away and they have to redo it.
Because I think that's my big thing with JW. I haven't even looked at the comments from today's video, which is probably a good thing. I actually will say that, like, I really like the interaction animations that they keep showing off with JWE2.
Me too.
I'm not super impressed visually with the game, but I think animation-wise, they definitely took a huge step up from the first game.
Yeah, but like, I was thinking about that because I did praise that at first too, but it's like, they should have, because that was like, that's already in Planet Zoo to an extent, like the animal interactions between each other, so I'd hope that they would move that over to JWE2.
Yeah, because I do stand by the fact that this all could have been a DLC. This all could have been just drip-fed DLCs. I stand by that.
I was... yesterday I was kind of like, Nick, you're going a little bit too far like you like to do. No, I was but then I watched Best in Slot's our Mosasaur video today, and man, I don't see where we needed a sequel at in this.
Well, especially like the aviary system, right? At first we were all getting very excited about, oh my god, look, you can make all these different shapes. Then we kind of realized, oh, it's just the aviary system from Return to Jurassic Park, but now if you place down two of them, they just connect. That's the only difference, really.
And going back to what you guys were saying earlier about, like, this could have been a DLC, this is, like, kind of like the Lego Star Wars thing, where, like, you guys know The Force Awakens had its own, like, Lego Star Wars game, and then they're coming out with the Skywalker saga, with the whole shebang.
I got you.
And it's like, at least the Skywalker saga gives such, like, worthwhile content in its form of a sequel. Meanwhile, Jurassic World Evolution 2 is kind of lackluster, and you guys know I like to defend it. I love my silly little dinosaur game, but I don't know. Hopefully we can expect more going forward. I kind of hate that they're going to throw it into DLCs.
Copy John brings up like a good point here. He's like, it's a great improvement, but it doesn't convince me. They still could have probably been a bit more ambitious. I do agree, because, like, especially, I think the most ambitious part is the $70 price tag. They have some balls to do that. And be like,
yeah.
especially when normal JWE is like $5 on a Steam summer sale.
I mean, I told you guys this morning in our DMs that the only reason I can see that they're making this a sequel is because Universal came in and said, "Hey, we're making another movie, so you need to make another game." And they were like, "We don't have any ideas for another game, but we have some DLC ideas. If you want to make those into a new game."
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it feels like to me from an outside perspective.
It kind of makes. What is this we're watching, by the way?
Was that Hades?
Hearing, like,
this is all Game Pass stuff. That was Hades. I'm playing the shit out of that on Game Pass.
Because I am interested in how Planet Coaster is going to differ. Because I do think the Coaster fans are definitely, like, they're going to be expecting a lot, and I am wondering how different it's going to be.
Water slides.
Yeah, I would say from my perspective as, like, the coaster nerd or whatever who played a crap ton of Planet Coaster, I'd like the obvious, which is the redone graphics and lighting, all that stuff. That should be expected, basically. Weather, which also I think should be expected in the sequel. But like actual gameplay things, like like Leaf was saying, water parks. Why leave those out? Let's go ahead and do those. Let's do parades. And let's have kind of my big gripe with a lot of Frontier games is, can we get a management system that's not from 1999 and like, you know, actually have good management in their management games for once? That'd be cool. Because I don't know, I'm a bit jaded because like I've been playing computer games since I was like, you know, 5 years old, and I'm like 30 something now. It's just we've been playing the same type of management style since like 1999 when Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 came out, and like every game after that has been doing the same thing. It's like, can we just evolve it a little bit now?
Yeah, and so like I think what I fear could be the what is this, the B movie?
I don't know, I'm trying to look at
No, this is like the Gamescom trailer itself.
Oh, okay. So showing off all the different,
Because I was just like, what was that? I always love that, like when you're just like watching an event like this and there's so much fluff that like sometimes you're just like, wait, what did I just see? Like what is, like, this is all good, just commercials for like IGN and stuff right now. But yeah, I don't know. Oh wait, we are live. Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
Believe it or not, we're live. That's how we're interacting with you.
That's true.
Right
So, I'm curious. You keep on bringing up parades.
Yeah.
For Planet Coaster, how do you think that would work?
I think it'd be like a node point-to-point system. So you just, I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, you plop down a node and then things would go towards it. So that's the other part, is like, would it be able to make custom parade floats, or would it just be like a pre-programmed thing? Yeah, I don't know. They probably wouldn't be able to do it. I would just like to have parades because they are a huge part of every park.
It's totally doable.
I just don't know the custom part. I don't like. I would love it if it was custom, but I don't think they'd be able to do custom. Maybe have like 4 different. You think so?
Well, I think they could. I don't know if they want to, because I think the reality is, the reason, like, there's no difference between them making like customizable like coaster cars. I say the same thing. I'm like, why don't we have piece by piece coaster car builders? And everyone's like, no, that's impossible. It's like, why? All you have to do is combine everything into a blueprint, attach it to the car, and then as the car moves and rotates, the rest of the pieces also move and rotate. That is totally doable. Yeah, you're gonna have crazy people like Drac and stuff who are gonna try to make it into like a devil head that's like a billion pieces, and then the game's gonna lag to shit, but it still should be doable.
Right.
And I see no difference with that and like parade floats. It'd be the same thing. It'd just be you drag down a basic parade block, essentially. You layer a bunch of crap on top of it as a blueprint, and then it just moves down a set path.
It just follows the piece that it's attached to. Yeah.
Like literally every system that people want in Planet Coaster really boils down to a modification of the coaster builder. Because water slides could work exactly the same as the coaster builder. Exactly the same.
Right.
Yeah, because the people would just be the coaster track themselves.
Yeah, instead of going down a track, you go down a slide. And you might have a limitation on it, which isn't unheard of for like some of the coaster stuff. In Planet Zoo, the train can't go, 90 degrees or anything. You would just have it so that the water slide could never go up or something.
Right, just put the restrictions on it so it can't do. Yeah.
Like you wouldn't have a slide that would. Though I guess you might want that to some extent because you might want a case where it's like. One of those like Blizzard Beach type slides where it's like
a straight down.
Like a straight down, but then at the end it kind of curves up a little bit, so you get some like air almost.
Oh, I would love one where you sit on a tube or something.
Wait, is this a Smash?
It was a not Smash Bro, or was it Smash Bros?
I don't know.
This
is it.
No, General, they haven't shown off Prehistoric Kingdom yet. Prehistoric Kingdom is at like 3:06 Eastern or something.
Oh, want to know what I'm excited about today? They're revealing the Nickelodeon All-Stars Smash characters.
Ooh!
I actually am weirdly excited about that. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's probably just gonna be someone boring like Aang and Korra, but like, I have hopes that it's someone interesting. I know, like, Drew is probably like too old for Nickelodeon in general.
Yeah, that is true.
I was like, I don't even know if like you would have watched it in the '90s, because like even then, like.
Well, yeah. How old do you think I am? I'm not 50.
No, I know. Well,
I grew up in the '90s, bro.
Well, I don't know if you watched it like.
The last thing I remember from Nickelodeon, let's see, was probably like Hey Arnold, and that era. So like late '90s, early 2000s was when I saw.
Okay, well, because that game actually has a lot of representation from the '90s, so that is interesting.
Nice. The Rugrats. The last I saw from the Rugrats, they were trying to make them grown up, and I was like, "Go fuck yourselves."
No, I love all grown up.
No, you did.
I had that on a video now. I don't know if anyone knows what that is.
All grown up. I remember when that happened, and we're like, "Oh no! Don't make it a reality for us. We know we're growing up."
Well, do you guys know what Video Now was?
It sounds familiar.
Was that like the Game Boy one?
Yeah, it was kind of like a Game Boy, and you'd buy some cartridges, and they'd have like 3 episodes of like random shows, and then you put it into it, and you could watch just those shows.
Yeah.
It was basically like watching a MIDI version, like a 8-bit version of a TV show compressed down into a cartridge. And
I like
watch that one episode.
Oops, hit the wrong button. There we go.
Well, now I'm looking at water slides in Atlantis. So that's where I am.
Hold on. There is no way they did that. Hold on. Smaggle Daggle, they did not do that. If they did... What? What?
Did they?
That is weird, but I guess they did. They added Martin Luther King to Fortnite.
Wait, what did you just say?
What?
No, they didn't. That is the most backwards That's a troll.
It's gotta be, but like, no, PlayStation tweeted it.
Time Studios has launched a new Wait, hold on.
Yep. It's like an interactive I Have a Dream.
What the fuck? They really did! Fortnite's MLK exhibit lets you watch the I Have a Dream speech. Wait, through Fortnite.
What the hell is up with Fortnite?
They're trying
I could be
so
dressed
hard.
as Spider-Man with a Batman cape.
Yes.
With my buddy who's dressed as Terminator with a Spider-Man backpack.
And when he says, I have a dream, you can sit there and do the Tootsie Roll or any other dances.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Because how else would MLK want to be celebrated than having Fortnite do dances on his grave? Oh my god.
See, like, I guess, how popular is Fortnite now? Like, I still
I haven't heard anyone.
Pretty popular.
I know Minecraft took it over.
I know it was huge. Right, like Fortnite was obviously the biggest
but didn't
thing
it peak in like 2017 and 18?
That's what I thought too. Yeah, because I have, especially like I have younger cousins and nephews and stuff of that nature and stuff that are like around the age that play Fortnite, and then even that they're like, no, we don't play that anymore. That's like
it's all
kiddie game.
It's
and like they're 12.
It's Minecraft now.
5 million players in June 2021.
Which I mean, 5 million's a lot. But I don't know. Like, is it worth it for like these?
Just in case people
like,
didn't think we were serious. Here you go. It's real. It's very.
Oh yeah.
Here's the date.
It's real.
Here's the date today. So if you want to look it up,
because I had to, before I even mentioned it, I had to look it up and like fact check it because I didn't believe it.
That's bait.
It sounded so absurd.
That's bait right there. It's like you look it up and it's just like horribly racist things or something like that. But nope, that's completely real. Oh man.
That's
This is a cute
What's
little
this?
fighting game.
What is this?
Play.
A little RTS.
Play as Kaiju. You play as Kaiju, I guess.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing this like a while ago. It seemed pretty cute.
What's the damage for these games? I like it when the destruction is really good. Like that's half of it.
Yeah,
for me.
exactly. Yeah.
That's kind of cool with the building falling over and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the tornado. The tornado's cool.
That's kind of a fun like half anime, half like realistic like physics and stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of the issue with the games like these are, like, this is a cute little Mario Party game that I would play once and never again.
If you had, like, a bunch of friends that you could get together with on the regular, sure, but...
It's just, again, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know how often you would play a game like this.
That's kind of cool.
You know what I mean?
Is that Gundam right now?
Like, I appreciate this. I like the art style and how it's clearly like each of these is like
he's like a chubby Power Ranger.
Yeah, like each of these is like based off like Gundam and Power Rangers.
But just kind of what's it called? Giga Bash.
Godzilla and stuff.
Is it free? Oh, it just says coming soon.
You just saw a trailer for the new Kaiju Brawler.
Kaiju Brawler. All right. So what's everyone think so far? Anything jump out to anyone in chat that you're excited for? They kind of featured that first game forever. That holy whatever.
Yeah. That looked like For Honor. Like, all I could see was For Honor.
That's what it was,
like,
yeah. Right. They paid a lot of money just to show off For Honor 2.
Yeah. Which didn't
I'm kind of excited for those. I like racing games. Yeah, I like Forza.
I miss Wreckfest.
Dude, I know.
I've been feeling it recently.
I just loaded it up like last week, but they must have, when they updated it, they changed their multiplayer settings because my multiplayer was broken again. So I don't even want to like look into doing it again because it took me like a whole day to get it going last time. What were you gonna say, Nick?
Oh, I was gonna say what's funny that you mentioned racing games. When is the next Mario Kart coming out?
Didn't they just do one like Mario Kart 6?
No, that's like Mario Kart.
No, Mario
4.
Kart 8 came out like 8 years ago.
Wow, it seems like it was so recent, but that's a good.
Yeah, it literally because it was on the Wii U, like, and they just when did Mario? It came out in 2014.
Wow.
So that was 7 years ago. Sorry.
Yeah.
But 7 years ago was the last Mario Kart.
You know Nintendo though, man, they'll take their sweet ass time as long as people are still buying the game and playing it. They're kind of like Rockstar.
Rockstar and Bethesda.
You're right.
Like, I get it. It's just, I don't know, like, Nintendo is just, like, a weird one, because it's like, I understand that a new GTA or Elder Scrolls will take, first off, this is a really cool racetrack.
Yeah, this is really fun.
Like, oh, wait, shit.
Yeah, the graphics look ridiculous. Look at those flamingos. What kind of flamingos are those? Chilean?
Greater.
Okay. I don't know, I just throw out American!
No, American flamingos would be red.
Yeah, Drew. Gosh,
okay.
I thought you reviewed my flamingo pack.
I can't wait until the PK trailer where I'm gonna be the paleo nerd out of everyone here, and then I'm still gonna get something wrong.
Probably.
Oh, I'm gonna intentionally pronounce things wrong just
I can
stir stuff up.
I would say if there's like levels to like paleo nerddom, right?
Yeah, this looks so good.
I am at like a 3.5, I'd say.
If you're
I know more than the average. I know more than the average person.
Mm-hmm.
I know some of the obscure dinosaurs that like when you guys didn't know like Compsognathus or anything. I know that. I know like Kentrosaurus and Euphocephalus and some of these other weirder ones. But even with that new JWE trailer, I was like, that's a Quaigawongosaurus. Like I was like, I don't know. This is a literal Chinese name, and I don't know how to pronounce it.
Well, if you're at 3.5, then I'm level Jurassic Park, whatever that is, because I like that movie.
Yeah, like, because I'll say that, like, a 0 is like you know nothing about dinosaurs. A 1 is probably you could name T-Rex, Velociraptor, and like Stegosaurus. And maybe like a 2 is like Jurassic Park, where you know basically all the basic dinosaurs. I'd say, like if I showed you a Triceratops, you'd be like, that's a Triceratops. But then if I said, hey, name 4 other ceratopsids, you'd be like, what? So I mean, actually, now that you've played PK, you might get a little bit better.
As if I remember any of those dinosaur names.
That's true.
Oh my God, Savannah, you're making flashcards.
She is, yeah.
Oh.
So we don't sound stupid when we're playing PK.
I love that.
Again, I still can't get over that one take 2 where you guys were on with Savannah. I was cringing so hard when you guys kept saying Bronchosaurus like 50 times. And no one said anything. It was just Bronchosaurus. I'm like, do you mean Brachiosaurus?
Whatever. The big lizard.
Oh, those are American.
They are American.
Yeah, so shut up.
Oh.
Like you guys know shit.
They don't. I mean, that doesn't look like Mexico. I'll say that.
No, I
that looks like Africa.
La Selva. Yeah, no, that's Mexico. Next to
that's
probably next to Mexico City. They have really big mountains.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, this looks awesome.
I
won't buy it, but it looks nice.
Just get Game Pass.
Oh,
true. Yeah.
I played the shit
Can I
out
use
of
that on PC?
Yeah. No one knows. They do a terrible job at advertising it, but yes, Game Pass is on PC. I've turned like 5 to 10 people onto it because of that.
The issue with Game Pass on PC is you don't get everything that comes to console.
No, like I'm playing Crusader Kings 3 right now, but I only get probably 75% of the game, but you don't get access to like the mods or the community like that or anything, and a lot of the updates take a few months more to get to Game Pass, but so still you're paying like $5 a month for.
Well, I was gonna say even like there's some console exclusives like there because there's 2 types of Game Pass. There's like there's PC Game Pass, and then there's like what they consider the Xbox Game Pass, where you get both access to Xbox and PC. And because some games just aren't compatible on PC, so you have to get them like with an Xbox. But other than that, yeah, I still think the PC version is pretty good. I only used it for like I think Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I enjoyed it.
Microsoft Flight Sim, I played that for a few days.
I
didn't really get what to do after that. I was like, well, why don't I just go on Google Earth? And
yeah, because the thing with Flight Sim is, my buddy, he's a pilot, huge plane nerd. So he loved the game. He was like, oh my god, this is the greatest simulation ever. Meanwhile, me, I'm just like, yeah, haha, we'll fly over Disney, we'll fly over Rome, we'll go to, oh look, there's my house, and then,
Now what?
Yeah.
And yeah, same thing, my uncle's he used to be a pilot, now he works in the radio control tower for Southwest Airlines, and he gets every single one of those games, and he has like the setup, the joysticks, the, controls and everything for it.
Those, like, I guess pilot nerds, they're insane. They, like, live, eat, and breathe flight simulators. And so I remember, like, throughout high school, my buddy, like, literally on our, like, 20-minute lunch break, he would just be like, what are you doing? And he'd just be on his phone, just staring at nothing. Because, like, a flight sim, to me, is never interesting because it's looking at clouds for, like, 20-30 minutes, and then you land. And that's the game. And I never understood the appeal of that. I'm like,
there was a modded community, slightly modded community for Microsoft Flight Sim I was interested in joining, which was you create your own airline and you start with like the lowest possible plane, and that's kind of cool. And you have to like check in, and they give you like, okay, here's your flight for today, and you're gonna make X amount of dollars, but you have to spend this much in fuel. Like, do you want to accept it? Like, yeah, they actually made it like a full-on airline
like
simulator
management game. Yeah, that's cool. Because I think like it's just in that like a game like that seems more interesting to me. I don't understand the actual flight simulator part of it. It's kind of the same thing. Again, I didn't really see the appeal of like any of those like Euro Truck Sim or American Truck Sim. It's like, yeah, you're driving a truck down a road and that's it. Like, I don't know. Is that actually interesting? I guess to some people because they make a fuck ton of money, but like.
Yeah, now could you imagine like, because I was just thinking like maybe people can make the same argument for us as like zoo nerds or theme park nerds, but that's not even a little. You can't make that argument because for Planet Zoo, you don't just make zoos. If you want to, you could make Rome. You could make a recreation of your house. You could make an airplane. These games, like, could you imagine if they like gave you the builder part of it for like Euro Truck Simulator or Microsoft Flight Sim? They're like, okay, you can do this, and you can construct your own,
airport and stuff, and you can design the plane and whatever. And yeah, it's like, okay, that I understand. Because even to some extent, like what you brought up is a good comparison to why I don't like Zoo Tycoon 3. Because Zoo Tycoon 3 is literally a game about staring at virtual animals.
Oh my god!
So.
Yeah.
And driving go-karts.
And driving
around.
go-karts. I mean, that did look pretty cool.
And
you get to shoot the water like inside the pens and stuff like that. That kind of stuff's cool. But other than that, yeah, I agree, and that's why I argue.
It's staring at pre-looped animations,
right?
Which the first time you see them, you're like, "Wow, that looks really cool." But after you've seen every animal in the game, there's nothing left to do.
Yeah.
And so that, from that perspective, I would understand if that was every zoo game out there, or if there was a coaster simulator. I guess the best example for like theme park nerds is like Connect Disneyland, where it's like, look, you get to walk around Disneyland, and it's, yup, that is Disneyland, but that's it, like. It's kind of the equivalent where, yeah, there's no real meat to the gameplay. It's just you do it once.
You stop and look around.
And that's it. Yeah.
And like, that's like what I was saying earlier. Like, if you're going to do that, then I may as well just go on to Google Maps and
do it for free. Yeah.
And do it for free, essentially. Like, oh, darn, I can't click things that are going to interact with me, but it's still essentially the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the same argument, and I know we've made it a lot of times now concerning like animal packs for Planet Zoo. Like that's why we are so against animal packs, except for like you modders to get new rigs. It's because what do you do with a new animal once you get it? You plop it into the exhibit that you've probably already built for it. You look at it, and then you're done. What do you do after that?
Because I definitely agree with that perspective where. Once upon a time, early into the game, I'd actually say animal packs were probably more valuable because people were. It was like a pun intended here, but like a frontier for the game where it was like, I don't know what animals to build. Oh wow, there's a new animal. I've never made a binturong habitat. Let me research this. But at this point, we're coming up on 2 years now. There's so many. Every animal has been recreated by ZZ at this point. The ones that haven't been created by ZZ have probably been modded. And so I'd really argue that there isn't a single animal that could probably be released from a pack at this point that people haven't already built habitats for. Even aquariums, for instance. I remember I was building Mystic Aquarium, like my recreation series, before the aquatic pack came out. And not like the aquatic pack helped me or anything, but it was a situation where it's like I was already building an aquarium before then. So let's say North America's probably coming out in the next, I'd say, few weeks, give or take. I mean, Dahlia kind of. I think I can say this publicly. Dahlia basically spilled the beans, but messaging Savannah on Twitter yesterday. I noticed she took the tweet down. But
did she?
Yeah.
Probably because I favorited it. I saw her post. I was like, "Oh, really, Dahlia? I'll definitely like that."
I mean, I screen grabbed it, so you know, the evidence is there. The damage is done.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I was like, "Is this smart to publicly post?"
She was excited and just
Yeah. I think it was just kind of like she was probably.
She was really excited.
Oh, by the way, Savannah, you're a Planet Zoo person. I'll message you next week.
Right.
Which. Kind of indicate, by the way, DLC probably, at this point, that basically confirms to me the update is going to be revealed on Tuesday and DLC will be on Thursday. Right? That pretty much seems to line
Usually
up.
it's how it works out there.
And then I was looking at the date, probably the 7th would be the release date. Which is early, compared to what I think some people were thinking, because it's only been maybe 2.5 months. But I think it's totally doable because I was gonna say if you then look 3 months into the future, that's early December.
Yeah, they need to hit their
Christmas. Yeah.
Well, and they're needing to make up because if you remember, what was it, Australia or whatever pack? It took them like an extra week or two than normal to get put out, so they're kind of catching up, I think.
Yeah, I will say I'm not sure about you guys. I hope we get a sea lion, but after that, I don't really care what the DLC is.
Yeah, no, and that's.
What about birds? You still gotta get birds, right? At least one bird model.
That's true.
But we're definitely gonna get them.
I know what you mean, though, because it's like what. And Nick, you mentioned this a while ago. I can't remember the exact context, but it's like, yeah, what more do we need out of the game? Like what? What other animal rig or what new animal is going to be put in to make everyone go, oh my gosh, I haven't played Planet Zoo in a year, but I'm totally going to come back because they added in blank.
Yeah, because like as an example, the number one thing that a lot of people are talking about would be like a primate pack, because basically after we get birds and sea lions, the remaining unique rigs we would need are all different types of monkeys.
Thank you for
like we need a gibbon rig, we need a Safaka lemur rig, we need a baboon or something, like stuff like that, which I mean would be cool, but I don't really know if a Safaka lemur is like a must-have for a zoo game, and
right. And I word it like that because we always got to think of things from like a business perspective too, from Frontier's perspective, like what is worth it to them to put out to bring people back to the game. And
exactly.
Sure, birds make sense. The North American DLC, that makes sense too. But like after that,
aquariums are the only other logical stepping point, and that's.
They already did that. I mean, kind of. I mean, they had an aquatic pack, so what are they going to come out with? An aquariums pack?
I kind of just drafted up a video. What I mean, drafted. I recorded one, and it's part of my like little speculation series. But they could introduce kind of like aquariums and touch tanks, kind of like how they have aquatic dinosaurs like Mosasaurus. Oh my god, I can't believe you called the Mosasaurus a dinosaur. But kind of like how they integrated that in JWE2. I don't know. I feel like that might be pretty good to have, but I don't see them doing it, unfortunately. I don't know.
As far as like the resources needing to put into like that whole new system and everything, like unless they're able to transfer stuff over from JWE2, because we know those two games share the same engine now.
I mean, they transferred over all the foliage from Planet Zoo, so.
The issue I see with like an aquarium pack too is they kind of already botched it. Let's say we get a sea lion in North America.
Mm-hmm.
What other aquarium animals do we want? We'd have king penguin, seal, sea lion, African penguin already in the game. And then and if you don't want to do cetaceans, because we all know about, oh god, dolphins, evil, orcas, how dare you. So if we're not doing them, all that's left I can see is like sharks and fish, which I don't know if they'd be willing to do that, do them justice, because that's a lot of fish they'd have to do to like make it worth their while. Because I think it'd be really odd if they were just like, here is 8 types of fish, and one of them happens to be a shark species. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's super appealing to anyone.
Right. Yeah, and, that's where you hear a lot of people talking about, like, Frontier will probably support Planet Zoo for the next 3+ years. I've seen some people say, I'm like, I don't know how they would, though. It's not going to make sense for them financially to keep doing that. And I think that's why you saw an end to Planet Coaster as well when we did without like an announcement. Like, I don't know if they were planning on doing it, ending Planet Coaster when they did, because again, there was no announcement whatsoever, or if they were just like, well, this one didn't make as much money as we wanted it to, let's move on to console.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the same thing with JWE as well? Like, they kind of left them. Alright, so hedging my bets right here. We're gonna get the same thing for Planet Zoo.
That's what I've been saying all along, and people give me pushback, but it's like, you get about 2.5 years, give or take, of support for the game and DLCs, and then, this is a great game, Dwarf Romantic, such a fun game.
This looks cute.
It's so much fun, dude. You would love it, Leaf. It's like one of the games that you've sent me before and stuff. Little indie, fun little game.
I dig it.
But yeah, no, it's usually about 2.5 years of support, and then they move on to the next thing, which is usually a console version of the game that they just stopped. There's no console version of JWE, right?
Oh, there is.
Oh, is there? Yeah. So that's what they do. They develop on PC for about 2.5 years, and then they move on to console, which comes out about 6 months after that. And then they release the DLCs for console over the next year and a half. And then by that time, the second version of the game they were working on previously is ready to come out. So Planet Zoo was like the sequel to Planet Coaster, and that was ready to come out after Planet Coaster Console was out for a little bit.
Because I actually, the more I think about it, and again, this could be biased because at this point I really do believe the Randy Clark leak. I really do believe
Let's talk. Okay, have you mentioned that on your channel, Munch? Like
I have briefly mentioned.
Well, we have like another 2.5 hours. So if you
yeah,
want,
that's true.
We could talk about whatever you're comfortable talking about with that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Randy Clark is a pretty notable community member within a few places, notably the modding Discord. And I should mention for business sake here, he has paid me a lot of money through commissions. So I should mention that there is a level of bias here because I trust him because he pays me. He was the one that invested in the palm tree pack, for instance. But he is basically a retired zoo designer. He worked in the zoo, according to him, and technically this is all unverified, but I tend to believe him because he goes into a lot of detail. But he was a retired habitat designer, and he has a lot of friends in the zoo industry still, specifically the habitat design industry. And he claims that he has friends at San Diego who are obviously close with Frontier. And Frontier went to them asking for advice on basically a bunch of the different packs, notably birds, North America, probably Africa, and a few other things. And so he likes to go into details about the bird pack, but what he told me was that the next pack is definitely North America. What a shock. It's going to be released in early to mid-September, which, again, based off of Dahlia's tweet, lines up with what, we've been seeing, that, the content creators who have early access should be hearing something next week. Similarly, the pack would be kind of based off of the San Diego Safari Park to some extent, and would have kind of some general zoo stuff, as well as having basically different types of plant life from like the Southwest United States, but also the Everglades and some other generic North American foliage. He said that we'd have tall oak trees, which I'm excited about, if that is true. And then some other Everglades plants, the Washingtonian palm, which is famous for San Diego. It's basically a big palm tree. That was going to be a big one. And so that, like, a stupid detail like that is sort of why I trust him, because this is someone who pays me to make palm trees for Planet Zoo. And he explicitly told me, I don't want, even though the Washingtonian is my favorite palm tree, I don't want to pay you for it because Frontier's adding it next month.
On top of that, with what really got you thinking he's real shit is yesterday with JWE2 featuring San Diego Zoo, or San Diego overall.
Yeah, it obviously had a lot of San Diego stuff. I actually also did a little bit of research on my own that was totally unrelated for the Safari Pack. I was looking at some Street View images of the San Diego Safari Park, and you know how everyone was making fun of the yellow fever trees in the new pack?
Yeah.
That's a gross
This was
tree.
funny.
I went on the Safari Park, and wouldn't you know, they have a tree that is identical to the ones that are in game.
When you were just in Google Street View?
I was just in Google Street View. I was over by, if anyone wants to check this out, go to the cheetah habitat.
I kind of do.
Safari Park. It's the exact same tree.
I'll bring it up on stream, everyone, if I find it, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'll see. Yeah, basically, you're gonna go. Give me a sec. I'll help you find it by look, because I don't think. Have you been to San Diego?
No, I've never been out.
Yeah.
Farthest west I've been is Denver when we used to live there. So you said cheetahs, right? Here,
so there's gonna be a thing that says like African tram, right?
Yep.
And then to the left of that, there should be like a little field by a drop point by a road and like a grass field a little bit with some trees. And then directly in front of that street view, when you look into like the habitat, there's like a yellow fever tree that looks exactly like the one we got in game.
Gotcha. Let's see. So I see the Africa tram. So you said go to the left of that?
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like it's there's like a big road and then the point closest to the road, I guess.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, these little.
Yep. They're little points.
Gotcha.
So it's not the Okavango outpost. It's like next to that, like across from that, I guess.
We'll find it. We'll find it.
Yeah. But
that looks like it almost.
Because when you drop in, you're gonna basically see the Duum palms.
There it is.
And then if you turn around, there's the yellow.
There it is. That's totally it too, with the awkward angle of it there.
Exactly. So that plus like the Duum palms and stuff, it's pretty damning evidence that they probably did look at the safari.
They took a picture of this exact tree, or went on Google Maps,
and then they went, okay, so that's African foliage that's in a safari park. Okay, well, the other stuff that we also want to add from this safari park doesn't really fit into Africa because they're not actually native African plants, but they are North American plants because they're in San Diego. So that's where I'm like, that's a little bit more credence as well.
Yeah.
Where it's not damning evidence or anything like, aha, I told you. But it's pretty, notable. I'll pull it up on my stream too. So.
Yeah, Savannah just said, as someone who's been going to the San Diego Wildlife Park all her life, she said, yep, can confirm. They are all over the Africa section.
Exactly. So, and again, if you just look up a yellow fever tree native to actual Africa, they don't look like that. They don't look like that at all. But the ones specifically at the safari park do. So that's kind of where I was like, that's a little suspicious. And so basically, again, he has a lot of different claims. He says we're going to get food trucks in the update, and a new ride vehicle based off the safari park. He isn't sure which, but he does believe that it's probably the African tram because it's the notable piece of transportation that would kind of work well with the existing like monorail train systems and stuff we have in the game. And it was apparently supposed to be in the base game and then they scrapped it. So he said it might be something else like the hot air balloon or something, which would be cool because that'd be the first flat ride for Planet Zoo. So that'd be exciting. But I think
oh my gosh, then we can actually port over Planet Coaster rides.
True, as long as they go up and down. We could do drop rides if that was the case, which would be cool.
I need a drop guess right into a cheetah habitat. Not even cheetah, lion habitat. That'd be perfect.
Again, but I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. I think the tram is a bit more likely, and it'll basically be a glorified safari jeep that'll carry more people.
Do you guys have? Oh, here it is. Actually, I have it right here. I was gonna look at that. Have you guys seen the concept art of like Planet Zoo's general idea concept art? I'm wondering if I'm gonna bring that up if no one's seen it before. But I'm wondering if that has the tram. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering.
Because I remember it had like the Jaguar and stuff.
Here we go. So anyone who hasn't seen this, this was like what I'm guessing is like their storyboard idea of what could be in Planet Zoo eventually, kind of thing. So these were all just, again, just general ideas that they threw out there, like, hey, this would be cool, this would be cool, and then a concept artist makes a rendition of like what they say. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, there's some really good stuff in this. A lot of stuff has actually come to fruition from this concept art. But if we look closely, I see a chair swing.
There's a tram. There is a tram.
There is a tram right there, number 26. Smaller transport, it's called.
Yep.
And then number 27 here, small animal-themed rides other than roller coasters.
Probably. I think merry-go-rounds and stuff.
But it's just interesting that they... Oh, and there is, up here in the upper left-hand corner, number 1, cable car to another zoo level. Oh my gosh, cable car. Don't give us those gondolas, give us the cable cars.
Yeah. Which is funny. Like, that's an odd one because the San Diego Zoo is what they inspired it off of, which has cable cars. They don't have... Like, they call it a gondola, but it's closer to a cable car.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually,
so it is kind of odd.
And that food truck is there too, number 16.
Yeah, so again, this is all pretty, you know, I get it. It sounds absurd. This random guy, he's making a bunch of claims. I've been in the zoo industry. I worked at Beale Park, Valencia, and Zoo Tampa. I know information about the Bronx Zoo and Animal Kingdom and San Diego and yada, yada, yada. It sounds absurd. But everything's lining up really well. And again, the most damning piece of evidence to me, at least, and the reason I believe him, is once again, I'm being paid by him. So I go where the money goes. And if he says, I really want palm trees, but don't make this one, it's coming to the game. That's a big gamble for someone who, you know, could just, you know, pay me now and guarantee it, unless he was absolutely confident it really was getting added to the game. You know what I mean? Like,
what's a cable car? Cable car. So you know in game how we have the gondolas that hang underneath the inverted roller coaster track, essentially. A cable car is like this in the upper left-hand corner. That's more like a ski resort, I guess you'd say, where it has wires and little buckets that you sit in. So yeah, more if you picture like a ski lift at a ski resort, that's closer to a cable car than the giant whatever we have in game right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I hate it so much. Like, I want to turn it like
out of my mind watching this game.
I don't even have
It's the most generic shooter.
I figure people aren't going to be that alarmed if I don't have Gamescom on right now because they're talking about a lot of nothing. So, but what's funny is right here, the bottom number 39, which was the last one. Forgot about this one, mesh enclosures. It's like, yeah, you did Frontier. You forgot about mesh enclosures for a while. But I like that they literally put on there, forgot about this one. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, like, but that's just kind of where like I'm at. Where there's a lot of stuff he meant, because and this could be the controversial thing, because again, according to Randy, doesn't know the animals, but he does know the conversations that that Frontier had with San Diego, and one of the things they asked about was moose, for instance, which I think everyone would be like, moose, obviously, it's the most obvious animal. Apparently, no. San Diego was like, no, don't include moose. They're not in zoos. They're really hard to take care of. They have no conservation value. And apparently Frontier was like really intrigued by this, because this was apparently at their very first visit. And basically, yeah, San Diego was like, you know, because I guess Frontier, one of the employees went and said, oh, do you have moose at the zoo? And then they're like, no, we actually don't. And they're like, oh, why not? And then they explained to them, well, you see, moose don't have any conservation value, and they're really hard to keep. They're really shy and don't really do a lot, so they wouldn't be really that appealing for guests. Not to mention they don't do super well outside of their native range, so, you know, they have to have, like, colder climates and stuff. And
I told you, like, because I can't remember if it was during my live stream or something, but, yeah, you were mentioning that, and I was like, well, they have to have moose. And you're like, well, but why? There's no moose. I was like, because Zoo Tycoon won. That's literally, that's it. That's the entire reason.
And I would, and Zoo Tycoon 2 had them as well. And so that was my argument. But at the same time, I definitely could see Planet Zoo being like, well, you might be right. You might, like, if we're talking about, like, and I think in their head, they could maybe choose moose still, but it might have been a case of we're doing it only because they expect us to, and not because we want to.
Yeah.
Because I definitely do see them trying to lean more on on the side of realism. Like, you came to, you know, you went all this way to an American zoo to ask about their wildlife, and we're like, hey, moose, should we include them? And then if they're like, no, don't, because there's no value in there.
I mean, again, this is the game where you could pop down a cooler and have snow in the middle of the Sahara Desert.
And again, there's a lot of... Again, yes, obviously, I hate that argument too. Like, even the peeing argument is a good piece of evidence for this. Whenever people are like, this game's about conservation and total realism and stuff. No, it isn't. Because a thing that I even mentioned to, like, Randy when I was, like, saying this as a rebuttal is, okay, so they want to focus on endangered species. Totally understand that. Because, like, for instance, one of the animals he feels confident is in the pack is it's going to be a mountain lion, but specifically the Florida panther to promote Everglades conservation. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That was in Zoo Tycoon 2. Mountain lions are obviously going to get in because they basically represent America probably better than most animals that you would think of. But like a moose or something is just not really. It has no value. It lives exclusively in Maine and Canada and parts of New Hampshire, and it's very rare in zoos. And other than Zoo Tycoon promoting it and stuff, it's not really that valuable. And I guess another theory he had is alligator might be likely for the same reason about the Everglades. I think we're all basically in agreement about California sea lion, basically just because, especially more so if they're planning on theming it based off of California. Like,
yeah, I need my sea dogs, my arfs.
And so that could maybe have been the argument as well, maybe without a moose, we don't have that icon species, but a sea lion would be an icon species.
Yeah, that's
it might not be.
God, yeah, I can't think of a zoo that I've been to that hasn't had a sea lion.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those situations where, yeah, it might not be the icon you expect, but it could be the icon. Because it was kind of the same thing. I think everyone with the Africa Pack was kind of expecting the rhino to be the mascot, but no, they made the meerkat the mascot because they're like, yeah, it's rare, it's different, it's going to be a unique animal, so we want to highlight it. Same thing with the koala. I think everyone kind of expected the kangaroo to be the poster child. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Because as long as we get some swampy bayou wall sets, or that's where I'm kind of focused on personally. You know me, I'm the builder of the group.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Well, again, because I always make fun of you guys for that all the time, where it's like, we know North America's coming, and all you guys have built your North American zoo, so I can't wait for the pack to come out and be like, yeah, do we really care about any of these anymore? Let's build
or you guys are going to port over all the good wall sets from Planet Coaster that are basically going to be, you know, the North America wall sets. So.
Yeah, like, because that's what I was saying. I'm making my San Diego Zoo map as soon as Safari Pack is out. Once I finish Safari Pack, I'm starting a new series on my channel, and it's going to be based off the San Diego Zoo and Safari Park.
Nice.
Just because I'm more interested in doing that than making, you know, a lodge or something, because I've done that, you know, like I've already done the log cabin in the middle of the woods with pine trees everywhere and river otters and moose and stuff.
No, we're not, Bold. Bold just said they're going to run through their North American themed zoo, Pine Mountain Sanctuary, before the new DLC. No, we're not. We talked about that last night, actually. We were like, are we going to run out of ideas before the DLC even is released? And Savannah's like, no, I have a million ideas. We'll be fine.
You guys will be fine. Well, especially you guys will be fine just because you can always port over other ideas. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, there's a million different things we could do if we really wanted to.
Yeah. Especially, like, because, I mean, are you guys using mods? Probably not.
No.
But, yeah, I was going to say, like, hypothetically, you could always, like, just... Oh, let's add a Everglades section with manatees or something.
Oh, I tried. Don't worry, I tried. I was like, hey, Savannah, it just so happens we're making a North American zoo, and there's like North American mallards and geese, and you know, I was rattling off all these things. Wouldn't it be great to have those in the project? No.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I know this is a bit of a spoiler if I end up doing it, but I have my April Fool's Day joke planned. I'm gonna make the Birds of Southeastern Quebec pack.
Good. I've been needing it.
Again, I don't know if I will do it, but I think that's a really good idea for April Fool's.
No, that's perfect.
But
Also, Drew, I'm playing this Dwarf Romantic.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Isn't it great?
I love it.
You could just spend hours on that thing. Yeah, it's a great little title.
Let's see.
Yeah, has anything cool been shown off?
I'm looking right now, except for Forza 5, to be honest, no. Like, I could give a rip about this new Marvel game here.
See, weirdly enough, yesterday I was more excited than the ones I've been seeing today. Because, like, yesterday there was a lot of stuff. I obviously only cared about, like, the JWE trailer going in. But there was a lot of, like, pleasant surprises yesterday. There is, like, a weird new MMO that's, like, this really kind of weird art style where like you're a chibi character in like a like super realistic environment and stuff. But like it looked really fun. Like it was really weird because it had like a lot of weird combat that was like movement based and physics based and stuff. And it just looked really fun. It was like a weird 3D platformer MMO Risk of Rain-esque like game. It was the coolest looking thing.
At least it wasn't what was the last thing that we all sat in and reviewed where they released like all of those Metroidvania games?
Oh yeah.
What was that, E3 or whatever?
Yeah, where I made my drinking game.
Yeah, wherever there was a Metroidvania game that came out, take a drink.
Yeah. Because that's what I get sick, because obviously, like, you know, I've been professionally, like, you know, in the game sphere for like 6 years now. And so I've just seen it all. Every year, E3, Gamescom, PAX, whatever it is, it's the same shit every time where it's like, and now for the indie showcase, a new style of RTS, by blah, 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 some random animal fruit game. And then this is a new artsy game that's, you know, clearly just, it's got a pretty art style, but the reason it's pretty is because they're trying to, like, make it low poly and stuff so they can save on art assets because that's expensive because you're an indie game. So, like, there's just certain, like, things that kind of happen because of the type of logistics standpoint for games. So indie games often go with, like, more artsy, stylized art styles just because they're cheaper to make and easier to do. And then the big AAA games like to make big, fancy post-apocalyptic shooters that are space themed because that's what sells. Halo did it, so why can't we? And like even Frontier's doing it now with Lemniscate. Lemniscate does not look any different from any other game, even though they keep promoting it. Like,
uninspiring does that game look? Like, I can't.
Yeah, and the issue is, I actually like the mechanic in it. I like the idea of it.
Just looks
just
like
every aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like Call of Duty from 2015 kind of thing. You know,
exactly.
It has the same like little bit of grain, like cinematic grain on it, and all the textures are a little bit sharp. It just, yeah, everything has that same dull look to it since like 2015.
Yeah. I also hate these interviews. I
do too,
respect,
dude.
I respect the developers. I respect the developers. I get it. You worked hard. You want to talk about your game. No one cares.
No, like this is not swaying anyone. I know I totally agree though. Like it sounds so harsh, but it's not doing anything to help your game at all. Like
yeah, well, because it sucks because I know, like, let's say I was like, you know, I released Hambo or something like at one of these events, I would want to talk about it, but like, I understand no one cares.
Everyone's eyes just glaze over and they're like,
Yeah, they just want to see gameplay, and if the gameplay isn't that interesting, and the other issue is, especially these events where you're 100 games back to back to back,
no one's gonna remember.
You're gonna find a lot of patterns, and they're all just gonna mesh together.
It starts to sound like a sports interview. It's like, yeah, we went out there and gave 110%, and we had some deadlines, and it was kind of hard, but the team came together, and we really pulled out a quality product in the end. Like, that's your speech, just reorganized.
I'm even looking at this interview right now. Hey everyone, check out our new game, Dying Light 2. It's like, this is generic as hell and just boring.
Yep.
It's like,
use the same buzzwords. It's like, no, just like,
last time we showed you the monsters. This time we're gonna show you some more monsters.
I'll definitely remember this one, except for the last one. You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Listen to us being a bunch of complaining facts.
Again, it's not even an issue of the games. I think it's just
the marketing.
Events. Yeah, the events only seem to hinder actual sales, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were talking about for yesterday's event. Why it was so great is because they didn't do the fucking, like, we're gonna have a skit in between every single game. No one gives a rip about a dance routine at a video game event.
I hate those too, where they like decide to like do like, and now to play the Piccolo version of the game's main theme.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then it's like a 2-minute cello, you know,
right, and everyone's just sitting there just cringing hard, like, fucking just stop and show me the game.
Yeah. oh yes, we are now going to take a 20-minute intermission to do this year, or Game Awards is like that, a 20-minute orchestra performance of every nominee's theme song or something. Like, we don't care. I'm sorry. We're just here to see the new Smash character, maybe a new game. Have you shown off anything? Like,
Bolt just said,
and I feel so bad, but that is just the situation. It's kind of every one of these events.
Bolt said, "The boys. I don't know why developers don't like us. Also, the boys. Nobody gives a shit about your game."
Again, it's not even that no one gives a shit about your game. Some of these aren't our cup of tea. That's one thing. The issue is an event like this forces all of those games we don't like down our throat, and then we're going to see the one game that we care about that no one else is going to care about.
For like 5 seconds.
Because a good example, I think, was it E3 this year? I was saying that everyone probably thought that, like, what the hell is up with E3 this year? It's nothing but fucking dinosaur games. Because it was Jurassic World Evolution 2, Prehistoric Kingdom. There was that other dinosaur shooter game. And yeah, so if you're someone who does just, like, generic shooter games or something, or RTSs, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? What's up with all these dinosaur building games? Like, and meanwhile, we're like, yeah, bring them on. More theme park games, too. Also zoo games. Also put the dinosaurs in the zoo games. Also put the theme parks in the zoos. Like,
it's like, let us just have a little bit of spotlight. Like, you know, we see a game that looks like whatever's on screen right now, like once every 3 months, I feel like. It's like, let us have our little bit of enjoyment for once every 10 years we get a new game.
Yeah, what I kind of like is that I thought they were going to do, but apparently they kind of gave up on. But last year, during, obviously, peak Corona and stuff, they had no idea what they were going to do because they had all these plans for E3 and Gamescom and stuff in person, and they obviously couldn't do them. So what they ended up doing is each company basically did their own press events, and I think that was a bit more digestible because like you only did an event if you had something to show. So I would kind of prefer if like Frontier or something did an event like that where they're like, listen, tune in to the Frontier Direct this August. We're going to show off the Planet Zoo DLC. We're going to show the JWE2 content. We're going to show off Lemniscate. We're going to show off every, like, you know, we're going to tease Planet Coaster 2. We're going to do all of that at one event once, and then you're not going to hear from us for another 6 months. See, I'd be fine with that.
I'm wondering.
That's pretty much what EA does with like theirs, because they broke off from everything else for E3 and they started their own. And to my knowledge, it works out pretty damn good for them.
Well, that's what I was wondering is how good this exposure is for companies to go through for like Gamescom and E3 and stuff like that, or like you were just saying, Nick, just do their own Gamescom, you know, for themselves, do a Frontier Con or kind of thing. I wonder if that would be more beneficial, especially today in the digital age and social media age. Like, do they really need to like spend all this money for these events to get like noticed?
Well, because that like brings up like a point that, you know, obviously my audience and most of our audiences basically, or they're all here for Planet Zoo primarily. And so they're interested in the Planet Zoo news. And I know there was like a rumor that like, oh, we're going to hear Planet Zoo. They're going to announce the update today. Yeah. They're going to announce it today. And I'm like, no, that's suicide. Now we know it's probably going to be next week, but which makes more sense. And that's what I predicted. But if they did it today, that would have been suicide because it would have just been eaten by everything else.
No one would have cared.
Yeah, like, okay, so JWE2 got a trailer yesterday, and PK gets a trailer today. Yeah, let's just throw in a Planet Zoo trailer. That's a good idea. Like, no, that would, like, yeah, we'd be excited, but we also, you know, us content creators that are basically loyal to all of these games would be like, what do we cover? I don't know. Like, all of it, but then the algorithm doesn't like us, because then it's like, you know, so you have to split this stuff up and give some breathing room. Because, like, I think even us, we're in a situation where we all got our JWE videos out, and then we have a PK. We probably have to get PK videos out today. You know what I mean? Like, maybe tomorrow if we give it a day to breathe. But, and then, you know, obviously, because the other thing I'm worried about, I was saying, and this could be a conspiracy theory, I don't think it's actually going to happen, but what if they do shadow drop the beta today? What if they're like, Prehistoric Kingdom, the trailer ends out today, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck? And
dude,
then,
I'd almost be a little bit upset because
I
need some time to prepare for that.
They can't just do that. Like, fuck me.
But I know some companies do that. You know what I mean?
I would be a little bit upset because I'm actually busy tonight. I can't make any videos after this. So that's why I wanted to do my stream. You know?
Exactly. And so, like, next week, right? It'd be like, oh fuck, like, okay, there actually is Planet Zoo news. Now we have to cover that, but like, we're busy because we had other videos lined up that now they have to get postponed because we have to talk about this thing that's relevant. And that's sort of I mean, this is nitpicky content creator stuff that no one cares about. They're just like, just cover what's important, like, you know, what's relevant.
Yeah, but what's important? That's, you know, we have to find what's important and dictate timing for what's important. And so yeah, just cover what's important is a very open-ended statement. Exactly.
Because, like, as an example, I wanted to do a few videos maybe doing quote-unquote North American speculation. And I'm just like, I don't even know if it's worth it because there's so much back-to-back news lately that, like, by the time I get that video out, the next day we're going to get the reveal. Like,
right. Well, I mean, speaking of that, it's like, just so everyone knows, there's a reason that, you know, myself, Estian, Savannah, and Zoof are making a North America park right now because we're getting into the algorithm early. You know, we're trying to build up our presence basically a little bit early, and yeah, this is kind of one of the ways you do it. You gotta kind of you gotta think ahead. It's a 4D chess move for YouTube stuff if you're
it's kind of
a gaming thing, because yeah, you gotta think ahead.
I've seen both things happen. I've seen because I feel really bad. I remember Zekin and Thrive did that for Africa, but they totally misunderstood what Africa was gonna be. And it backfired. They spent like a ton of they spent like 2 months making like this African savannah park, and then North Africa comes out and none of it was usable because it's a desert pack basically. Yeah. And I felt so bad because I was like, yeah, there really isn't anything in the North Africa pack that was useful for savannas other than maybe the sticks. And I was like, oh, you guys, and they really did. They just basically ended up scrapping the project. But I felt really bad because I was like, yeah, they tried doing that by jumping in ahead of time, and then it backfired. And so, like, I do worry about that to some extent where, yeah, you guys are going for more of like a Eastern United States type thing. And then, yeah, what if it really is just, San Diego, this, you know, it's based off of, it's a desert, but like palm trees everywhere. That's gonna really mess with, like, okay.
Honestly, well, it's not those, because people what we're finding right now with Pine Mountain is that regardless if it is like the specific location that we're building for, the hype is real right now for a DLC for Planet Zoo. Like, we're getting most of my hits for my videos are from North America DLC, New Planet Zoo DLC, and something around there. Like, all my tags in my videos, they're ranking really high, and the analytics are saying people are searching those things out. So yeah, we're you know, we're kind of getting prepped in that. So even if it isn't that, like, that's okay. We still had our views leading up to it.
I also think it doesn't really matter, because if it really is again, if Randy Clark is right, you can use the new props, because apparently it's kind of generic zoo stuff and like new wood types and stuff. It's not like hyper specific from what I can tell.
Right, and that's, you know, if other people want to, and I actually play into our favor, actually. If everyone else wants to build a desert San Diego type zoo, then have fun, because we have a unique perspective on, yeah, basically. This game actually looks kind of cool, by the way, just a little bit tangent.
It actually does.
This kind of looks really cool.
I like games where you can swing around.
Yeah, the Assassin's Creed type physics or whatever. Yeah,
like Mirror's Edge type, but yeah.
PK, everyone is at 3:06 Eastern. 3:06 Eastern is when they are coming out.
We got
another
an hour.
Yeah,
a little less than an hour, but. And again, I love that. I love the idea that we're gonna get it. We're gonna be like, oh my god, that looks so cool. Look at the waterfalls. Look at the mammoth, and then it'll be over. And then, like, but it's just funny. Like, I love these events because everyone gets excited for like the 2 seconds of gameplay. Or
right.
Whatever.
And that's, you know, I even told everyone that it's like, I fully expect that we're gonna only have 2 games, maybe 3 with Jurassic World Evolution 2 that we're gonna really focus on. And anything in between then, if we see something cool, if not, we know what we're getting ourselves into, basically.
Pretty much, yep.
And I was gonna do this anyways. I was gonna probably, if not streaming it, I was gonna have it on in the background and be building the safari park or something else. I was like, fuck it, may as well stream.
Yeah, I like these types of streams because they're just talking. It's basically a glorified podcast. But
it is, without, unfortunately, Estian couldn't make it, so it's not technically it's not a Take Two podcast, but it's
just a Take One podcast.
It's a Take One. That's right. We're doing this all in Take One. Yep, exactly.
It's okay. He's tweeting Park Beyond. Oh wait, did they release footage? Oh, okay. I'm
they?
gonna pull. Yeah, they did. I'm gonna. Pull
I thought they were doing it on
my...
Gamescom.
I thought so too, but I'm looking at this right now. So this is the coaster creator. It looks like Planet Coaster. It kind of looks a bit smoother.
Look. Here we go, everyone. Let's look at Park Beyond here. Let's see.
It looks like Coaster, but actually it looks a little smoother.
Here, I'm actually going to mute you guys for a second. We're going to watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's mute. Okay. Yeah, let's watch the trailer, everyone, for this to see if this game looks any better.
Hello and welcome to Park Beyond's roller coaster editor video. In this video, we would like to showcase you some of the opportunities with the roller coaster editor in our game. It's our ambition to create an easy-to-use and playful editor. We would like to enable players to quickly build the coasters of their dreams. We give you lots of opportunities. You drag and drop your coaster tracks, you adjust the heights, you increase the speed, you add loopings, and on top of this, you have a ton of choices to even add what we call the impossification modules, like for instance the cannon module here. Make sure as well to make good use of the environment. Build your coaster all around your park, utilize shops and buildings and attractions.
Probably not for me.
And even place maybe some flying ramps, where your coaster carts will fly over certain distances.
Probably not for me.
At the end, it's always important, when you end your track, to connect it to the start and landing platform. And once done, your coaster is ready to ride. Here we see the first-person view.
I don't know, it's only alpha footage, so I'll try and keep it open mind, but this looks like Roller Coaster Tycoon
World. A couple of our modules, and you can experience this both in first person as well with some cinematic shots. Now we are flying through the cannon module we just placed, and as you can tell, momentum, speed, physics play quite a role in our coaster building, so always make sure you have the right speed, but not too much, to make it to the end of the track. We are pretty excited what players will come up with in terms of coaster building. We provide tons of opportunities, modules, and options to tweak, and we are really looking forward to our community to create amazing coasters, and we can't wait to ride those within Park Beyond. Thanks for watching.
Okay, let me bring the dudes back in there. Unmuted. Alright, hello.
Hello.
Oi.
Yeah, that looks like shit. I'm sorry, but I am not sold even a little bit on after seeing that.
I don't know, because the issue is it looks like Planet Coaster to me, and the cannon is the only thing that killed it.
Yeah, it's too... And again, if you're like into the zany, cartoony, crazy, wacky kind of style, then cool. But I don't like games like that, so that didn't do much to convince me otherwise, so...
Because I think the other aspect is I'm interested in actual park building. I don't care about I knew you had a coaster editor, you know what I mean? Like, that isn't surprising. But these other crazy flat rides and stuff, are they all this hyper themed and stuff? Because yeah, I also wouldn't be that interested, because when you hyper theme stuff, it makes it really limiting. And it's a main reason why I didn't like a lot of stuff in Planet Zoo or something, where yeah, I want to just make a generic, you know, Australia section. I don't want to make a weird hyper themed, you know.
Yeah, and that's why Planet Coaster was cool, because you have the option to do that. This game looks like you're going to be forced to do like hyper fantasy no matter what, and like there's no middle ground to like do like I like to build. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying, for me personally, I just don't like those kind of games. I would rather build a at least realistic-ish theme park every single time. Even if I'm building like a fantasy park, I'll akin it to like Disney or Universal, where it could still exist. It's just more hyper fantasy. I've never been sold on like Thrillville or any of those type of games. I never really liked them, so just not for me.
Because I think like maybe this is just me. The squid ride is really distracting, just because it makes me like wonder, like, okay, you're probably gonna have like a pirate-y theme, right? But are you gonna have enough pieces that it's gonna make it so that everyone's pirate areas look different, or are they all gonna look the same? Because that was an issue with Planet Coaster.
Yep, big time.
The Kraken, for instance, yeah, it's a really cool prop, but it's also super generic. You know what I mean? Like, and everyone had it in their park, and so it was like, oh yeah, that's the Kraken prop, and you never want that. You never want, you know, a focus on just something super hyper themed to build something that you want. That's why, like, when designing the Safari Pack, some people might be let down by it because I didn't go for like, oh yeah, look how blatantly obvious this is you're supposed to build like this. I went for a lot of generic, subtle things like rocks and wood and stuff that are frankly more useful, but you're not gonna maybe notice them enough. Which I prefer. I would rather see, oh yeah, by the way, it looks like they used my fences or something, than, oh look everyone, it's this giant thing that's in every zoo or whatever. Like, oh look, they put the Mecharoo down. Like, we all recognize and identify the Mecharoo.
I think it'll be, I think people will have fun with it. Looks like for like a week, and then everything's going to start to look really samey. And the flat rides, you're going to be like, okay, I placed down the squid ride. What else can I do with it? Oh, it's just a squid ride, so I have to always have a squid ride in the park. I don't know. I think it'll be like a one trick pony, and then after that, I'd be like, well, this is fun.
Yeah, it'll still be pretty fun.
Like, I'm even reading like Estan's tweet right now, and he's like, "Oh, it looks like the article says there's going to be a lot of customization, but it also shows the giant squid ride that is so hyper themed that I know that this is all part of the same thing. Like, there's tentacles and stuff and gears, and it's like, yeah, this is cool, but that means that anytime I want to make a spinning ride, it's going to have a giant octopus. I might not want that. Maybe I do sometimes, but...
And that was our issue with Planet Coaster, that we actually had to get them to stop doing, because when Planet Coaster first came out, we had those type of rides where it was like, yeah, this is a generic ride, but they themed it to something specific. We're like, no, don't do that. Let us do that. Like, we want to theme it how we would like to, so that we don't get stuck with everyone's zoos, like an alpha and beta, looking exactly, or zoos, theme parks looking exactly the same.
Exactly.
So yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen with this ride. It sounds like there's some more like flexi-color stuff, like Estan was mentioning, planks that you can do flexi-color with, and people are building.
Which is cool.
But something that interested me is that same article mentioned that people were building walls out of planks, and I'm like, is it because they don't have any walls to build out of, so that they're making walls out of wood planks, or like what is it? So I'm still wondering if we actually are going to get like wall sets, or if it's going to be like, here's 5 barrels, here's 5 crates, here's 2 planks that are wood, you know, and like that we get general props instead of actual building materials to use,
which is fine, because I think it's fine if this was PK where you have scaling, because that was the thing that I found where PK has 10 rocks, right? But I don't think anyone is ever going to complain, even after like early access and stuff, about wanting more rocks. Everyone's fine with the PK rocks because you can change them to whatever color you want. Probably they'll even extend it so that you eventually can just make true flexi color rocks where you can make them any color. Even
I think that was confirmed already. They have that going.
Yeah. But even like in the current state, you have like 10 different, you know, textures that covers basically everything, but I can scale them to whatever I want, so I don't really care about, I don't need 50 types of wood sizes. I just need 3 wood textures, and then I can stretch it to be as big as I want, and I'm fine with that. Like, and that's a reason why Planet Zoo has such a high piece count, is just because they have to compensate by making, here is 1 prop, and then here it is slightly larger, and then here's a really big version of that. And then if you're like, can I have a smaller version? Oh, well, that'd be a whole other update. We'd have to, you know, like, just because we can get around that with scaling.
Yeah, right. Well, and I even said that with like foliage too, like trees. This is back in Planet Coaster days. I was wondering if we could just like give us, you know, a few basic tree shapes, and then let us flexi color the tree, and then we could like reuse it a million times, like the sycamore tree. If I could take that and redo the shading of the green even on it, I could reuse that tree a million times over. It would look so good.
Or the eucalyptus, if you had swappable bark textures or something. I think what's even funnier is they use a program called Speed Trees, which is pretty standard in the game industry for making trees. But what's funny is, why don't we just have procedurally generated trees in game?
Yeah, right.
Why don't I just have a palm tree, and then I just place it down, and it randomly generates a unique palm
Different
tree.
variations of it.
And
Yeah,
then
you mean like City
if I
Skylines?
don't like it, yeah, and if I don't like it, okay, I re-roll, and then here's a new palm tree. And then if there's one I like, I can copy it or something.
Well, and we have that a little bit in PK, where we have the brush. So, and that's if you don't like what the brush does, then okay, delete it and go in and make it yourself by piece kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, and because I would be fine with that. Like, I think there's a lot of cool procedural stuff that you can get, and I'm definitely more excited about, a game that could do that. Like, I am interested in what Paralives does, because Paralives has a lot of cool systems like that does have me interested. I never played The Sims 4. I played The Sims 3 a decent amount, but I am interested in Paralives just because they do seem to have a lot of those, like, weird little things that do seem to add a lot of customization potential. Like, oh yeah, so here's the painting, but in game you can change the cropping of an image or something. That's really cool and really useful.
Yeah, it is. That's really cool.
Even though it doesn't seem like it, it's very, very useful. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Paralives maybe looked into, when they get to foliage, a randomizer or something. And you could be like, here's a tree, and then as you stretch the tree, it dynamically grows the log so that it's not just, like, that's the only thing I don't like about PK. When you stretch trees, it just stretches the tree. Like,
and the textures
leaves and textures and all. It'd be cool if they made it a bit more like the mulch and stuff, where they have world space normals. So you can stretch the mulch to whatever size you want, and it's never going to look low resolution. Same with the chain link. So I'd kind of like that if they did that with some of the trees. They made the bark a world normal, and then the tree just dynamically stretches, and then the top of the trees and the leaves or whatever will always stay, pretty nice looking. I'd like that. But
did they just show off? What was that?
Changing Tides?
No.
Fruits of Pacha I'm only interested in because I know it's a criteria.
Townscaper. They just showed off Townscaper.
Oh,
that's so cool.
I mean, it's cool.
The developer, he's a really cool guy. That's one dude developing it. And
yeah. He was like kind of like a big visionary in like the indie game, because it's not like I love how when he started making it, it wasn't a game. He just said, "Look at this cool thing I made."
Yeah, he was so passive about it. He's like, "Oh, you guys want this? Okay."
Yeah, and then he was like, I get it. Because it's not, to this day, it's not really a game. It's just this kind of like relaxing exercise.
Yeah, it's like a painter, essentially.
Application that, because I was saying there's a lot of potential with it too. Like, if he wants to really make a lot of money and stuff.
Like procedurally generated type stuff, you mean? Or?
He could make like $5 texture pack things where it's, here's a different type. Instead of, maybe you don't like the port side town aesthetic, here's a medieval set, or here's a skyscraper set or something, like, and you could do that easily because using the same exact code, you can just swap the models and make a bunch of different towns.
He did that with a recent update where he made everything like monochrome, like everything was it looked really cool. Okay, I've been seeing this art style come up a lot in video game trailers. Valheim, their Hearth and Stone trailer yesterday had this exact same art style. I don't know what kind it is, but it's really cool. Like detailed. I don't even know what you call it.
Kind of anime.
Kind of, yeah.
I kind of call it like Western anime, where it's clearly Western flash animation imitating anime. Because it's kind of like Castlevania.
Yeah, that's it.
Netflix, like.
Yeah.
Avatar was kind of the same thing. Like,
I remember that too, Bold. Bold said we were supposed to get procedurally generated things in Planet Zoo. I remember specifically they said zebra stripes were going to be generated, so no two zebras were the same. I remember them saying that as well, but that was a load of zebra shit.
Because it's technically true. It's dumb though. I hate. There's nothing I hate more than listening to Frontier PR speak.
Yeah.
Because it's what pisses me off about the JWE trailers. They just couldn't say, it's JWE 1, but we added flying in deserts. Like, that is... I wish they just came out and said that. because we made a lot of technological advancements from the first game that improve upon the mechanics and customization options of the first game. We added a bunch of new different
That
types
guy's
of
shirt was awesome. I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that guy's shirt's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, they always do that, right? Every single game, they're like, oh, we made so many technological advances. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, because like I found that like funny, like looking back at the old Planet Zoo stuff, because they were technically right in saying that the animals all have procedural codes. That is technically true. But what they don't tell you is that they're basically 3 textures with I guess like sections of patterning that are randomized. So on the zebra, for instance, there are 3 textures of zebra stripes that the game can pull from. And what it does is it goes, okay, I'm going to take the neck texture from texture 2, the leg texture from texture 1, the body texture from texture 1, and the, face texture from texture 3. Now it's a unique zebra. But they act like no 2 animals are alike, but that's not true at all, because when you only have 3, let's see, like 3 maps, and then there's like maybe, I don't know, 5 texture areas, that's 15 variation types. That's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why you see these a lot. You just see all of these giraffes and zebras and stuff where you're like, these all look the same. Because you just keep recognizing the same 3 textures
right.
over and over again.
Well, and another point with that is, at least for me, the way that I play, like, are people really going up and, like, studying the zebras that much in this game? Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, are you building your habitat and then just looking at it like, all right, that was fun, let's move on to the next habitat? Like, are people, like, sitting there and for hours on end just like, look at the zebra. You see it? Look at the zebra. Look at it.
It's so different. Trust me, it's so different, okay? Because the stripe on the right is slightly lower than the stripe on the left.
I measured it, okay? I went up to my screen, took a tape measure out, and...
Well, so...
Oh, this is a
This looks cool.
This is cool. It's like...
Is this a Frontier game?
I think so, yeah.
Which one? Oh, they're Foundry games?
Foundry, yeah. This looks cute, though.
What was that one that SDN was talking about today where he's like, they should maybe just give
up? Conjoined or whatever?
Yeah. And like 5 people like the tweet or whatever. I was like, oh no.
This looks cute.
I give Frontier credit for like trying to, obviously expand their their catalog out to like not their normal stuff, but it's like some of the stuff they put their money into, it's like, oh god, that might not be the best idea.
I at least respect that like, they, at their core, Frontier Developments is always going to be a simulation company. I appreciate that, because at least you know what you're getting from Frontier.
Yeah, but now it's kind of...
But now they're like, okay, we're kind of branching out where we're going to have some of these other lesser developers work on an FPS or a strategy game, or this looks like some sort of like a puzzle,
And I guess to their credit, they don't attach their name to it, so at least you can't get that confused for brand recognition or whatever. But
because it's like, oh, this is a Foundry game, and it's like, because I remember that was like a big concern when like Warhammer was there. They're taking on Warhammer, and they're taking on this yada yada, like this project and this license thing, and
like, no, they're just giving them money.
It's clear at this point that it's like, no, they're just publishing the game, and then they're just having these.
Is it the same with F1? Are they publishing F1? Or are they making?
I don't know. So I've heard conflicting reports. I would think they would ship it off to someone else, but they might have a team internally, because I could see it being internal, because it technically is a simulation game.
Yeah, right. Driving simulation.
It's not like a tycoon game like we're used to, but it is a simulator. Kind of similar to Elite Dangerous.
And that's a lot of fucking money to leave on the table to give to someone else to do. And knowing Frontier, if they can do it, they probably want to keep all that F1, that sweet, sweet F1 money.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd have to say, because whatever it is, expect that Frontier Developments is going to have a separate team working on F1 every year than your basically treat it like Elite Dangerous. You know how Elite Dangerous isn't, that team doesn't touch the tycoon games at all.
Right, yeah, they're dedicated.
I assume it'll be similar. They'll have a dedicated F1 team they'll have a dedicated Elite Dangerous team, and then they'll have the Tycoon of the Year team.
Yeah.
Tycoon
and then, Game of the Year.
Yeah, you know, JWE2.
Right.
EC2.
So what's next year? Council? Planet Zoo Council?
I think, because I am a firm believer, actually, they are going to continue Planet Zoo support. Because they don't have any intentions on making a sequel anytime soon. And while I think that you could probably argue that Planet Zoo development, in quotes, is over, they can always shit out animal packs and no one will care. Because it's not hard for them to pull.
That doesn't even seem like their way, though. Like, if they were going to do that, I feel like they've been doing it by now.
Well,
two years into development, and they're still in that 3-month, you know,
well,
DLC cycle, no matter what.
Well, I think they're still doing actual DLCs right now. But once Birds comes out, then they might pull support from, like, you know, theme packs and stuff. They're going to take the environmental artists off of it. They're going to take the programmers off of it that would add new mechanics or anything. And we're just going to get shit out animal packs that they can just be like, yep,
maybe.
Here it is.
I don't know, because they could have done that for Planet Coaster. They could have done that for Planet Coaster as well, with ride packs.
But they have an intention of making a sequel for that.
Yeah. Oh, you're still on. You don't think there'll be a Planet Zoo 2?
I don't.
I don't know. I don't know what they would do for Planet Zoo 2. I'm not as big of a planet or a zoo nerd as you guys are, but I don't know what they would do.
No, there's really nowhere for them to go.
It's kind of the perfect game right now, where even as someone who is a modder and stuff, it is a perfect game where, yeah, the only thing they have to do to appease zoo fans is just keep shitting out animals. And that really is the case. Once we have all the building pieces we could ever want, which I must say we are kind of close to it. I think North America really will. If we get a couple of new wood types and whatever, it'll round it out. Because I think really the only major piece that we were like, oh my god, we're missing this, was chain link. Now that we have that, I don't really know anyone that was like complaining about lack of pieces anymore. Well,
you know me, and I already told you guys to bring it over from Planet Coaster. Give me all the worn wood sets. Like, I feel like we have too many clean-looking things. But that's just me being a nitpicking builder, you know?
Precisely. You could build a worn set by using FlexiColor East Asian planks and build the wall manually. You could do that. That was kind of what I did for, like, the Safari Pack. There's, like, a new wood type that's basically just the East Asian plank, but a little bit grittier. And so I could definitely see, you know, them trying that or something. Again, these are just low risk, high reward type things where, yeah, maybe only even if 500 people bought the DLC, I can promise you that it would be worth it for them to, you know, just shit out an animal pack. Because people would just play it. They would just use it and keep buying it. Because, again, this fan base is really niche, but it's really loyal. We're going to just keep buying every animal you toss our way.
Well, again, we only get a new game once every 10 years, so...
Oh, yeah. Well, because I was discussing this the other day, we were actually playing Planet Coaster, looking at stuff. And what I noticed about Planet Coaster players relative to Planet Zoo players, every Planet Zoo player I know pretty much universally has every DLC. Planet Coaster people, though, oh, I have the Adventure Pack and World's Fair. I have, the Spooky Pack, and, you know, I got Ghostbusters for some reason. Like, they don't have every pack for Planet Coaster like the Planet Zoo people have for...
No, because, I mean, we don't have to really start this debate, but you can build theme parks a lot more versatile and a lot differently than you can build zoos. Zoos are kind of stuck in their, you know, little...
Exactly. So with the base game of Planet Coaster, you can basically do whatever the hell you want. So those extra rides and stuff are like, yeah, if you really want to fucking merry-go-round, but like...
Yeah, but if it doesn't line up with your park vision, then you don't need it.
Exactly, and like stuff like the Ghostbusters or the Munsters, or no one needs those at all.
Right.
If anything, those were extra like car models if you wanted those. Like,
That's
but yeah,
we had more sponsored builds and packs in Planet Coaster. Yeah, because we had that. We had Cedar Fair too. We had Cedar Point and Cedar Fair.
Oh yeah, that was weird like as hell. Because I would say like you guys have like signs for like Cedar Point.
Yeah.
In the game, and I'm
like they sponsor. And that's
it's just so weird. It's like if we just got San Diego Zoo and there's just the San Diego Zoo logo. which is kind of what I have, you know, in the Safari pack, in fairness.
Because it makes sense for zoos, no, not zoos, coaster parks and stuff like that to franchise. It makes sense for them to set up like different locations, like let's just say Six Flags New England, Six Flags Texas, yada yada yada. But it wouldn't really make sense for San Diego Zoo, like one of the more famous zoos in the world, to say, "Oh, San Diego Zoo, Washington." Like, it's not really.
Aren't most zoos they're not private owned, right? A lot of them are state funded or right,
state or city or whatever.
Right.
You know.
So and almost all, unless
and I would say the most likely, and other than San Diego, I think San Diego has a likely thing, and Animal Kingdom could, if they really do have negotiations with Disney going on. Animal Kingdom could be pretty likely. Which I will also mention, if Disney negotiated with Frontier about Animal Kingdom, I think they'd also extend it so that like they put a heavy emphasis on Avatar and like Lion King and stuff props as well, like Disney properties.
That'd be weird.
So
it would be weird.
I totally forgot that some information that we've had for a while regarding Planet Coaster 2 that lines up with your Randy Clark stuff. So there was the big Frontier leak that happened 2 or 3 years ago now. They had like the 5-year roadmap. Yeah, that's been pretty much 100% accurate up until this point, even dates and everything. In that, they talked about Planet Coaster 2, Frontier teaming up with Disney, and at the time I scoffed at it and I was like, well, that sounds like horseshit. But now that this Randy Clark stuff is kind of coming to fruition, and he was talking about Animal Kingdom and pandas and all this other stuff, and then there's rumors of Frontier having deals with Disney and stuff. Maybe we could have Planet Coaster 2 really heavily influenced from a Disney perspective.
Yeah, and
which kind of makes my stomach turn, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't like the idea either, just because like I think it's such a weird. First off, this is a really cool aesthetic for a game.
Yeah, this is. I don't know what this is, but this is cool. If it's a side-scrolling plane shooter from like the early '90s, yeah. I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's like a run and gunner, but like.
I used to play these kind of games like all the time.
World War II.
Dude, if this is the actual gameplay aesthetic of it, though, that looks so cool.
It is, yeah.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was like a.
No, this isn't a trailer. No, this isn't a trailer. This is the actual.
It looks like it's on a string and like you're like lifting it up and down. Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this.
That actually is.
And they actually have actual actors and everything. Okay, I missed this in games. I missed the intermission or the cinematic intermissions with actual people.
It looks so goofy, but I love it.
It does. It looks great.
I mean, you guys might be too young for this, but like the Command and Conquer series used to do like real people in between all the time. Like spies. That's where spies came from. Yeah,
that's a cool looking game.
Yeah, what's it called?
Squadron
51. Oh, Area 51. I'm putting that. I'm going to Steam right now. I'm gonna see if that's on there.
Yeah, honestly, that might be the first game that we all universally are like, yup, that's a good looking game. It's like Cuphead.
Oh, there it is. Do they have a demo? They have a demo.
Shut up. Oh, they do. I'm downloading that right now. We might play that on right now.
Screw. I'll do it too. I'm really trying to get. Oh, it's 5 gigs. So.
It is 5 gigs. Oh, I might have to pause it, everyone. If the stream starts to lag, let me know. I'll pause the Squadron demo.
I'm really trying to branch out into more games because I recently just hit the 1,080 mark of Planet Zoo.
Woo!
And I haven't really been playing much else, so I really just want to branch out into new things.
Ooh, you know what you should look into, Leaf? Is
Wizard 101 for many years. I had a big Overwatch phase. And then, now, obviously, Zoo Tycoon back in the day, but now we're kind of hitting, obviously Planet Zoo and stuff. And so, I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I'd have to get a game that would, like, really pique my interest. And
you know what really interests me?
A long time.
Is, Let's Build a Zoo. The company that made that also made this game. I just dropped it in our little chat, but Descenders. And I keep on seeing them tweet about it. It's just like this BMX game.
Yeah, that looked fun.
But I love it. Like, it has such a goofy aesthetic.
That had big Wreckfest vibes, though. Like a game you play with people in a group. And that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that would be, like, the long last... Like, I wouldn't make a channel on it where I'd want to, like, cover it daily and stuff. But it definitely looks fun.
Yeah.
What do we have? Another 10 minutes until PK?
Is it 10 or is it 10 in an hour?
No, we have an hour and 6. Yeah, we have an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, we have an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Oh boy. Oh, we're in it for the long haul then.
Yep.
That's actually so that's a fair point. So Copy John mentioned Busch Gardens SeaWorld. If they wanted, they could be a licensed opportunity.
Ooh.
Which
I don't think Frontier would touch them.
I don't think they would touch them for the citation argument either.
I know, right?
Well, especially the other aspect is, well, actually, I don't know, because they're friends with San Diego, and San Diego is actually friends with SeaWorld. Like that was a huge thing.
SeaWorld still has Blackfish directly tied to it, whether it's correct or not. It still is directly tied to Blackfish Fallout.
It does.
So,
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird because I think the other aspect of it would be like Frontier seems to like to play all sides. Have you noticed that? Like theme
they do with their pressure because
they're friends with Disney, Universal, and Cedar Fair.
Right.
And work with all of them. Like that was a big reason why I was really confused why Planet Coaster never had like a weird like Jurassic Park the ride Universal tie-in expansion.
I don't know either. They must have had some deal where they were like, you know, we don't want you to use our stuff with your other titles or whatever. They're just use it for Jurassic World and that's it. Because yeah, it seemed obvious because when that Universal deal went down, that's when Planet Coaster got the go-kart packs, the Munsters, the Back to the Future, which all those are Universal properties. Thank you. But yeah, they're
all kind of shitty properties.
Right. It was just like throwaway ones. And then the Ghostbusters one came out because there's supposed to be that new Ghostbusters movie that like is happening in 2 years or something like that. I thought that was really random because it wasn't promoting the girl or the 2016 Ghostbusters. It was promoting like the new one, which isn't even coming out for another 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know. So, like, that was what was weird, because there's other Universal properties, too, that, like, okay, maybe you don't want Jurassic Park for that reason. Totally understand that. Harry Potter. Harry Potter would be an amazing pack.
Yeah, but that's not owned by Universal, though. You gotta remember, that's Warner Brothers. Universal's licensing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess that's not, yeah. What does Universal own that's also huge in?
Fuck, man. Jaws? You know what I mean? They own a lot currently, yeah.
They have the shark animatronics though.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Is I guess like when you really think about it, Jurassic Park really is their only big franchise.
Like you could have done Fast and Furious maybe in Planet Coaster.
Yeah, but who cares about that? You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I know.
Really, like, because I'm thinking like Universal, like their entire business model. I'm looking at their website and stuff. Universal owns nothing. They have Jurassic Park and. Is Transformers them? I think it might be.
No, it's Fox, right?
No, that's Hasbro, yeah.
I hate all of them. It's so confusing.
I know no one owns their original stuff anymore.
What's really confusing about Universal though is Universal is a clusterfuck of random.
Don't look up what Universal owns. Look up what Comcast owns, because Universal is owned by Comcast.
True. Well, because I'm looking at the Universal theme park, Universal Resort in Orlando.
So they can put
I'm like, you can't do Marvel because that's Disney.
Yes, they can.
You can't.
They can though. So that's where it gets kind of weird. Is on the east coast of the Mississippi, the rule is that Disney can't build any Marvel attractions that are in Universal Orlando, but. Oh no, that's what it is. And then on top of that, Universal Orlando can't update any of their pre-existing attractions to have the likeness of Marvel characters. Yeah, that's what it is.
So what I'm saying is like, so let's say there's a licensing deal. They don't have the rights to Marvel, and that's a huge portion of Universal. They don't have the rights to Harry Potter. You can't do that. Jurassic Park might have been cut for that reason, for like they already have Evolution. And then what do they own? Not even Hanna-Barbera. What's the
E.T.
E.T. Yeah, that'll be a fun pack.
Barney.
What's that stupid Rocky and Bullwinkle company? They own that. That'll be a fun
cartoon
pack. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they have Comic Strip Land or whatever from like the 50s.
Landing or whatever, but like it's a bunch of properties that don't even make sense. Popeye.
Yeah,
Popeye pack.
Like as much as like my nostalgia is like, oh, I know Betty Boop and Popeye and Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah, 30 years ago.
Like It's sort of where I'm at with Universal, where like Universal, I want to
DreamWorks. That's what Universal owns. DreamWorks, right?
Do they own DreamWorks?
Shrek DLC.
Yeah, no, they
Shrek
do.
DLC.
Well, there's already there's already a Shrek ride and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, so that would be a case where, yeah, I could see, DreamWorks properties. You could do, Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, Madagascar, something like that.
They have Cat in the Hat, like Dr. Seuss. I don't know if they own.
Yeah, that could be
that though. That's also kind of getting to the point of being old too, isn't it? I mean, we had the Cat in the Hat movie like in the early 2000s, but
yeah, I don't know. Like, it's kind of, and these are like weird things. They don't own Nintendo because that's gonna be another big like Universal. Like I said, is a clusterfuck. Disney, take it or leave it. Everything in a Disney park is owned by Disney though. So there's no question of, oh, well, that's not a thing. That could go away. Because Universal also has a lot of Nickelodeon stuff, but they don't own Nickelodeon. Viacom owns Nickelodeon, and then, like, it's just weird. Because you go to a Universal park, and every property in Universal, other than Jurassic Park, is seemingly in other parks around the world in random places. Like, Mall of America has, like, the Nickelodeon and DreamWorks theme park. And so, actually, let me look at it. Is DreamWorks actually owned by
SeaWorld Australia has Nickelodeon too.
Does it?
One of our buddies just went there yesterday, and he streamed the entire thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, the Mall of America, they have the entire Nickelodeon universe section to their park.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wait, why is Dr. Seuss? I'm out of the loop. Why is Dr. Seuss controversial?
Oh, wasn't that like a whole thing where like one of his books was racist or something like that? Like Dr. Seuss.
Oh yeah, they did. They had to remove it. Yeah.
Wait. Oh, which one? I don't remember becoming a racist by reading.
And to think I saw it on Mulberry Street. If I ran a zoo, controversial. Well, that's pretty much
like a World War One game. This kind of looks interesting.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it's like a World War One bunker.
It reminds me of a game that my buddy made back in college. Because that's another aesthetic I've been seeing a lot lately that a lot of people do. It's a 3D model that has a shader that makes it look pixelated.
Like pixelated, like the old PlayStation games.
I love that.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Valheim kind of has that look to it. Does Universal own Alice in Wonderland movies? No, I think that's all Disney.
Well, I think Alice in Wonderland is public domain now, right?
But the movies, like the recent...
Oh, yeah.
I think those are still owned
by the other aspect about... Because, public domain's like a whole other friggin' thing. Because, like I said, I've gone into my rant about Tarzan for a while. But, like, any company can get around public domain if they just trademark the name. And that's what a lot of companies do. So, for instance, you know how everyone says, oh, Steamboat Willie is technically in the public domain now. Except Disney still owns the trademark to Mickey Mouse, and it's really hard to make a Mickey Mouse cartoon when they own Mickey Mouse. Yeah, so that's what Tarzan is. Everyone always says, oh, Tarzan's public domain. It's like, yeah, but the family estate of the original author trademarked the word Tarzan, and it's really hard to make a Tarzan movie or show or whatever without using the trademark. You hypothetically could, but that's where you get like George of the Jungle, where you get like just parodies, like and so like that's always interesting that even after it's been public domain, there's like companies like that where they just hold on to the trademark of a public domain property and just make money off of licensing it to people who want to make a movie or game or whatever. Which is an interesting idea. Like I like the concept that like there's just some random guy in California that's just raking in dough by just being like, oh, Netflix, you want to make a Tarzan show? Yeah, sure. We'll give you the rights. You just have to pay an exorbitant licensing fee to me because I just own the word.
Jeez.
And they can do that with basically anyone. Like, if for whatever reason someone trademarked the word Dracula or Hercules or any of these things.
Oh, that was like Paris Hilton. I remember it was a big thing when she was actually relevant. She tried to copyright Oh, what was the thing that her and her dumb friend used to always say? Like, I don't know. Anyways, they tried to copyright some like totally common phrase that everyone says.
I remember the Fine Bros did that with the word react. They were trying to trademark the word react, and no one could use it. And it's like, yeah,
that's right, yeah. And then the YouTube community was like, well, we thought you guys were cool, but I guess you can go fuck yourself. So.
Yeah. Well, you don't understand. We're just protecting our brand. It's like, yeah,
they became
your brand is like.
They became the Ellen of YouTube, basically.
Yeah. What is this, Undertale?
I don't know. It looks like Pokemon.
This looks like a lot of games.
Yeah. My eyes kind of glazed over when I saw it because it looked, like you just said, like a lot of it. This looks kind of neat. That little part, but that's about it. They own a lot of rights to horror movies. Yeah, Universal owns a lot of monster rights.
Oh, do they own?
They're the originator of horror, essentially. Yeah, they own.
That would be
by the
cool
way, I should also
for
mention,
theme parks.
Disney's getting really weird with their licensing. Oh yeah,
Disney's just gotten weird since Chapek took over. What a crap company now.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean,
well, not now.
I mean, the theme park stuff is weird, but like I even saw like yesterday, that was a thing that like stood out to me. They have a Fall Guys Jungle Book event going on.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
yeah,
they're trying so hard to appeal to like the younger like Zoomer crowd, and it's like.
But it's also like Jungle Book isn't even that relevant anymore.
But that's what I mean. They're going to the point of cringe. You know, like they're trying so hard to appeal to the cool crowd that they're becoming cringe. They did this in the early 2000s too. They turned Disneyland into like essentially a rave, and
I remember that.
It plummeted. No, and this is the same time they put in the they took out the. People Mover and put in the racers that broke it and stuff like that. Like that's that whole time, and nobody liked it. And they're trying to do the same thing now, and it's all been happening under this new CEO who just so bad. Hey, look, a seagull.
Yeah, because like I do sort of fear that with like Planet Coaster, where it's like everyone I think thinks Planet Coaster 2 with Disney licensing is going to be like, oh, it's going to have like the Cinderella Castle and Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff. But they could just have weird shit that like has no business being in a theme park game. Just like, yeah, so we're really thinking of promoting Avatar, right? So yeah. Can you just work in Avatar? Not even like animatronics or rides or anything. Can you just put in like the creatures as like walking around? That'd be cool. Also, Star Wars is really doing really well now that we're on season 3 of The Mandalorian. So, like, could we like work in like a Mandalorian campaign?
And then you know what they'll do? They'll be like, and then truly entice people. Tell them if they buy a DLC, they get 1 free genie pass to whatever ride they want. How about that?
Do that. They wouldn't do that. You kidding me?
That's a $25 value right there. Oh my god.
That's way too much. They might give you like a voucher for like. You know,
a churro,
10% off.
Yeah, right.
So they wouldn't even have. No, I mean, if it's any, because I was in. I would guess I was in it, like the Disney Infinity community for a while. So like I know a lot about like the weird Disney licensing things with games and stuff. And yeah, they had really weird like collaborations with the theme parks. Because like whenever a new movie came out, they would have like. What's the theater? It's something Spanish. In California. Oh God.
It's a what?
The what? Which like where
there's like a weird historic movie theater in Disneyland.
Oh, in Disney. I was gonna say the Chinese
whatever. Circle?
Yeah, there's that where Disney showed all of his films off.
Yeah.
Then there's the I can't remember the name of it, the Great Chinese movie theater that they based off of.
Buena Vista? Are you thinking that?
Oh God, what is it called?
It is Leaf. Yeah, we're watching Leaf on this show. He's hosting it.
Yeah, it's me. It's all me.
El Capitan Theater.
Okay,
that's the one. Yeah, like so they had like weird events where they would like have the video game like. Inside of like they'd have Disney Infinity booths in that while a movie was premiering, and then you also got like weird like power discs that gave you like special event like costumes and stuff, and like I don't know, there's just weird stuff that Disney could do that has me a little worried because like Planet Zoo, you would think they would do Animal Kingdom, and we get Animal Kingdom, you know, props, but I could also easily see them just being like, no, it's actually the Pandora World of Avatar set, and it's just Pandoran animals or Star Wars animals or whatever.
Yeah, or it would have to be Dinosaur. And nope.
Yeah, but they don't want to friggin' recognize
Cross the
that.
streams.
Yeah, no crossing the streams here.
Because that's another rumor that I've heard a lot.
I never see that happening ever. I never see dinosaurs or prehistoric animals making their way to Planet Zoo.
Oh no, not that. I'm saying I could see dinosaur under is it Chap Nick or
Chapek? Chapek. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. I could easily see Dinoland being demolished.
Oh yeah, that's already happening. They've Chester and Hester's that roller coaster's been closed for over 6 months now. It's happening. They're about to close everything in that area.
Yeah. Because I guess the other rumor that I was hearing is they're gonna turn Dinosaur into a Zootopia ride.
Yeah, that's I think that's the plan. Is it's either gonna be Zootopia or no, actually that's only what I hear now is Zootopia area over there and retheme all of it. And I think they're gonna take out the Finding Nemo stage show as well and redo it with a Zootopia, or not the stage show, the puppet show. I don't know because it's like an Emmy or not Emmy, but whatever the. Tony, yeah. I think it's like a Tony nominated like show or some shit like that. It's like huge.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really cool. I saw that and the Lion King show, which I don't know if that's still there or not, but that was also super good. Is it?
Still, yeah.
That was really good.
They'd have some balls if they ever got rid of Lion King and Animal Kingdom.
Okay, does no one else like Zootopia either, or am I the only one? Because I didn't really get that.
I enjoyed Zootopia on the first watch.
I think it's fine. I don't think it's worth... What I don't like about modern Disney is it's turning into a modern licensing stuff that's going to date the parks really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, I know everyone always says, well, Disney said that, you know, the park will never be finished.
Yeah, but he didn't say we're going to reuse.
Well, more importantly, it's like, yeah, but you're putting in Frozen Ever After, right? In 5 years, is Frozen still going to be as relevant as it was 5 years ago?
And we were watching, my wife and I were watching this Imagineering story that they have on Disney Plus, which is really good. And all the rides that they were talking about are highlighting. It's Space Mountain, Tower of Terror, Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean. What do they all have in common? They're not IPs. They turned into IPs, but they were all original story ideas. When's the last time we had an original idea that wasn't based on an IP?
Because let's face it, they're definitely going to make an Expedition Everest movie eventually.
Sure.
It was probably Everest. I think Everest was probably the last new IP attraction that was totally unique. It had nothing to do with any existing franchise or anything. And it was awesome. Everyone loves Expedition Everest.
Or the other one, Tower of Terror. Oh my fucking god, like one of the best attractions ever made, and it was completely made up story.
Yep. Because Disney is good at that. It's just, but then like Avatar. Let's say these movies flop. Right? These sequels just do
sequels that are 15 years old, 15 years too late or whatever.
Yeah. Which, because I think even if the second one does well, I'm positive the third one's gonna do bad. Because no one gives a shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think if anything, people are gonna watch the second movie out of curiosity of why the hell they're doing it. But I don't think anyone has genuine interest in Avatar. And so I think that their idea of let's just try to force feed them Avatar until they like it as a franchise is just dumb. Because I'm already seeing it a little bit with what they did to Epcot recently. And luckily I think they scrapped it, but the new Mary Poppins movie came out and then they immediately said, we're opening a new attraction in the UK pavilion based off Mary Poppins Returns. It's like, that is the dumbest thing ever.
They could have done so many other things than like, oh, okay, Mary Poppins. Like,
Alice in Wonderland could have done really good over there. Now I mean,
just in general, I have no issue if you want to do a timeless a timeless Disney IP that definitely isn't going to get dated. Like if Animal Kingdom's like we're doing a Jungle Book ride, yeah, okay, I have no issue with that because Jungle Book's not going to be dated in 5 years. But if you do a Zootopia, what if people don't like Zootopia? They're going to be like, oh, that movie? Yeah, that was fun. It's like if they just went, hey, let's do Bolt. Let's make a Bolt ride, everyone. Isn't that a good movie? Home on the Range. Let's make the Home on the Range petting zoo area.
Woo!
Like yeah, we saw it. Doesn't mean
It doesn't mean we need to have it shoved down our throats in a ride for the next 20 years. Like,
yeah, because like again, yeah, they kind of hit like a mini renaissance in the 2010s. Which it did rival the Renaissance. Like I think they never made a, to my knowledge that I remember off the top of my head, like a bad movie in the 2010s. And yeah, like I remember Tangled and Big Hero 6 and Zootopia, Wreck-It Ralph. These were all good movies I enjoyed. I don't want attractions of all of them.
Well,
I don't. The Princess and the Frog ride is like already weird. The only reason I'm kind of okay with it is it's already in a bad themed area. New Orleans Square has no business being its own area, so at least they're adding a New Orleans themed attraction to it. So it kind of makes sense.
Wreck-It Ralph.
I love.
I would say Wreck-It Ralph is timeless. I'm sorry.
As long as they can, and this is kind of my issue with like the new Marvel area, as long as they can make Wreck-It Ralph look interesting and not that same, and we talked about this in our DM, but not that same gray, aesthetic. Black, white, sleek aesthetic everywhere. Because yeah, the new Marvel campus is so soulless and lifeless. I think it's like the biggest mistake they've made aesthetically in a long time to the parks. It looks so bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I remember right, Wreck-It Ralph kind of had that same like Japanese sleek high tower like kind of look to it. So
well, that's the thing to Wreck-It Ralph. You could go so many avenues with that. And, like, I'm such a huge Wreck-It Ralph simp. I'm sorry, but like, you have all these video game IPs that Disney. You can pretty much do anything.
That's true.
Disney.
Yeah.
Sonic, I guess, would be really cool to incorporate because I guess Nintendo is working with Universal.
Yeah,
Disney,
but Sega's kind of blowing Nintendo, so I don't really think.
Yeah, that's true. But like, even the old retro games, you could have like all these amazing dark ride aesthetics and stuff like that. Like you're going through the games, you're going through like the wires and stuff. You're jumping games. You could have
but you know what? Like at the end of the day, I would rather them just make a video game themed ride. First off, I would never recommend a video game themed ride because
it dates itself.
It's gonna date itself real quick. It's why Tomorrowland in general is a fucking mess. Because every time we try to think of what the future is like,
that's where they make the mistake. They need to find a glorified version of the future from like the 60s and then just lean into that rather than trying to predict what the future is going to be. Anyways, keep going.
Paris.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't try and predict the future. Try and be the future that people thought of in like a certain time period that's really aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, because like the Tron coaster is cool, and I think it'll always be cool just because Tron's a cool aesthetic. But yeah, it's not like, oh my god, I'm expecting in the future we're gonna have Tron-esque, cyberpunk colors or anything.
One of my people, Todd, said, I don't know, I'd still like to see a Pong ride. Would be a blast. Yeah, could you imagine? It'd be a drop tower.
Well, so I am a firm believer in that's what Disney should be investing in. They should be investing in VR rides. VR, the future of VR is in immersive theme park premium VR attractions.
Big disagree.
Big
disagree. I've done too many VR rides, like at my local Six Flags Great America. That doesn't count. I was like, why are we giving me goggles right now?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Actual VR, like, have you done Void VR at Disney? That's VR. When you have a room dedicated to immersing you into the environment that you can walk around without goggles on, or well, you have to wear goggles, but
and that's where it fails. That's why it's like VR has never ever worked in any theme park, and they've tried it so many times. But right when you have to have people put the goggles on, take them off, then it's done. People they can't do it. So if Steven Spielberg, I remember he was coming out with VR-ish stuff like 3D, whatever, that you didn't have to wear the goggles. If they can do that, then cool. But until then, I can't see VR ever working in a theme park.
What's this?
Again,
I don't know. I don't follow the heck out of this. This looks so good. I didn't know they were doing a trailer today.
I mean, it's
really laggy.
Is it supposed to be graphically bad?
Stop. Is this like... No. This feels like Sims, but
yeah, you build
like
everything. Yeah, you build everything.
Well, like I said, is this supposed to look like garbage? Is it trying to be the aesthetic is Sims 2?
I think it has charm. And that's probably like my go-to excuse for games not looking as good as they should. But this is making me feel like, oh my god.
This is a pre-alpha build, by the way, too. This is, yeah, work in progress pre-alpha build. So hopefully, hey, at least the people look better than Jurassic World Evolution and Prehistoric Kingdoms.
Oh,
that's true. I will stick by that. I don't know what it is with the dinosaur games, but they like have a thing against making nice-looking guests in their games.
Probable assets.
Hey.
Making realistic stuff is difficult, so or making realistic humans.
This is actually a different game. This isn't the one I was watching, but I'm actually pleasantly interested in this. The scope of it looks insane. I think that's maybe why the graphics don't look that good.
Wait, they have multiplayer,
multiple game modes, and
at the
immersive story mode.
In the same map.
What?
Because I think we need a boys city in here.
The boys.
I mean, so yeah. So what is this trying to be? The Sims?
I think you build everything piece
and
by
kind of like
piece.
City Skylines. It seems.
Try it now for
It's
free. For free.
It's free.
Let's
Okay.
go. What was it called?
Oh god.
City Block.
City Block. Yeah. Okay, I'm interested in this game. So this is another game that was kickstarted on Crytevo, and I know the PK devs were really promoting it and stuff.
Where do you play for free? Oh, it's not on the Steam page. Maybe go to their actual website.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe jump over there.
Because I'm interested in this game, because it looks like it's maybe like kind of like Stardew, but like...
What was it called? City Block Builder?
City Block Builder, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You can walk on water, that's nice.
Jesus? We can Jesus?
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, kind of like, it's like, yeah, it's kind of like Stardew, but like...
Huh, but like a city, like an actual...
Yeah.
By Tentworks Interactive. I've never heard of them before.
Alright, I'm joining their Discord.
Is that where you have to do it?
I am not entirely sure.
I don't see where the free thing is.
Oh, their invite link is invalid.
Oh! Okay, so now,
good.
You know what?
You pay all this money to be features on GameSpot, and then...
So, yeah, then your link doesn't work? Way to go. This, I think it's you build on, like, a block of 1950s LA. Is it? You don't build, like, a city. You're set in a certain spot.
Okay.
Los Angeles, in the midst of a cultural revolution and bustling with immense amounts of growth throughout the city. The time to build and invest is now. Set in the 50s, carve out a name for yourself in the City of Stars and experience the golden era of America. Run multiple businesses, cinemas, restaurants, bowling alleys, drive-ins, jazz clubs, and a lot more, meaning like one other thing after that. Yeah. It sounds like Monopoly. Did you guys ever play the Monopoly desktop game back in the day?
I remember having that way back in the day.
It sounds like, hey, they have a Roblox guy. I think this was made in Roblox.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Wait, so it's being made in Roblox and released as like a standalone?
There's just like a Roblox guy on the page, like a Lego head looking dude.
Oh, weird.
So, I don't know. Multiple modes.
Oh, Townscaper.
Oh, here's Townscaper.
Townscaper
on
on Switch. Nice.
Okay.
See, that's... I just... Is this enough of a game, though? Like, I don't know. Like, it's weird because, like, I want to play it, but I also don't understand why it did so well.
Hey, Dumbass.
Because, like, it looks fun, but, like, I can't imagine you'd really build that much. Like, I don't know.
I like Townscaper for, like, for what it is. It's, you know, if you're wanting to sit there for 30 minutes to an hour and just plop down or an aesthetically pleasing thing without trying too hard, it's fine, but, yeah. The Switch makes complete sense. The Switch makes total sense for this game.
Yeah. Like I said,
Lighthouses.
Wasn't that always a thing, though?
I don't know.
Like, I just wish they just made, like, different themes. I like the idea of the game being very simple. It's just, it'd be nice if they made different themes so it wasn't just the same looking town.
That's cool looking. It has the actually built thing out in the middle of the water. That's
this is a nice trailer.
It is.
Well, that's what I'm saying, where it's like, this trailer almost seems like too expensive for what the game is.
Dude, he's had to have made a good amount of money.
A ton of money, yeah.
Like, again, yeah, Oscar, it's only one dude. No one else. Does Townscaper have challenge, or do you just put down the tiles and build a town? Essentially that at the moment. Yep.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's just crazy, because that is the whole game, is you place down blocks.
Yep.
And they turn into a town.
Hey Totter, is JWE2 going to be here? I think they mentioned...
I don't think
actually,
so.
no, I don't think
That was
so.
yesterday. JWE2 isn't. They might play the trailer again,
Right.
in like one of the commercial break type situations. But today is PK day.
Yeah.
So Prehistoric Kingdom is the big.
I know tomorrow JWE2 is doing a August roundup, so they might maybe share some more information tomorrow. But I think they're kind of done with all the new stuff. Actually, I think we know everything to know about the game at this point.
Yeah, I think they've even revealed all the flying and marine reptiles, which I think is the main thing that people were interested in. Like everything else is.
I'm
like,
pretty
oh,
sure we
look.
know all of the flying animals now.
And we know most of the aquatics. I think there's 2 more that would be to be revealed, but everyone's pretty sure it's like ichthyosaur and like another type, like elasmosaur.
Right. Oh, speaking of that, you mentioned it in your video this morning, Nick, but JWE2 confirmed has fish before Planet Zoo.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Hades. It's such a good game.
I mean, we have dead fish in Planet Zoo.
That's true. No,
no,
but you can't even do that.
They have actual swimming, living fish.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
And deer. I don't know if you saw that in the leaked footage. I don't know if anyone even saw that, but there was like leaked footage from like the day before where there's like actual like white-tailed deer and stuff that like are like they just randomly spawn in the woods and stuff. And they act as like almost like a natural carnivore feeder. So like you know how like everyone always talks about like the herbivores have like the natural feeders where they can just eat leaves off of trees. I guess they can also do the same for carnivores where you can eat they can eat like deer and wild goats or sheep or whatever, which is kind of cool.
Okay. Has this been confirmed for this game? Is it more like can we just have animals not in a habitat and just kind of out and doing their own thing to see them in the wild?
Sort of. I mean, I suppose you could kind of. Yeah, I kind of wish that Planet Zoo and JWE had that as an option. Because you can hypothetically just place down a barrier, delete the barrier. Now they're no longer in a zoo.
Yeah.
But
then they're emergency only. They don't do half their like animation or like actions or whatever because they're emergency.
And everyone would be crying because it's like, the
right.
dinosaurs are out. Even though
it would be cool if they did that to actually lean into like the wildlife park aspect of it to actually just give us a free form mode.
Because that's a thing that the modders did recently. I don't know if you saw that. There's been insane modding in JWE recently. So they had someone programmed breeding into the game.
That wasn't a thing.
No,
I don't know anything about JWE. I played it for like a few minutes or a few hours, and then I thought it was not great, and that was it.
Yeah, so the game JWE1 didn't have breeding, so you couldn't have, because the idea is like, haha, all the dinosaurs
are female. Girls. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Go into the park and lift their skirt up? Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, so this person literally coded breeding into the game. And this is like actual like coding modding and stuff. Like he has it so that basically if you get 2 dinosaurs, they have a chance to like brush past each other, and then they spawn a new dinosaur that has a mix of the traits of their parents plus 1 upgraded random trait. And so what like I know Best and Slack got really excited about it because he mentioned that you could make actual wildlife parks this way.
Yeah.
By basically striking the perfect balance between herbivores and carnivores. So like if you actually spend the time and be like, okay, the herbivores breed at this rate,
right,
and the carnivores kill them at this rate, you can actually make a living ecosystem.
That's kind of cool though. That's kind of fun and a fun management aspect too.
And there's also time controls now. The same person who did the breeding mechanics also did time controls.
So what's that entail?
So
the base
it's
game
just
didn't have like a speed up mode, like cheetah mode. But you know how you can like
Are you telling me that JWE is always at 1 speed?
Yeah, it didn't have that.
It's really good now.
But it's such a good game. Such a good game.
So anyways, Mega Man is on
I will
screen.
say, in fairness, Frontier actually did add the speed up mode to Planet JWE 2. So thank God we have that now.
Wow. That's amazing.
I thought that, because I said the same thing when I found out that. I'm like, isn't that like Tycoon Game 101?
Right.
Like, you would just think, hey, by the way, I want to speed up my simulator.
Right, so I'm not sitting here for an entire year.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, well, I'm glad that JWE2 is at 101 status at least. So.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm being.
And then I don't know. Does So did they confirm the JWE2 has breeding? I think they did. But
I mean, it showed a lot of the same, or not same, but similar animations that Planet Zoo animals show when they're like, you know, being social or whatever, like mating social or whatever.
Oh, sorry. No, Swerve confirmed breeding and juveniles will not be in Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Ah, okay.
So cool. So there's still no breeding in the game.
Well, they're all females, right? So I remember that's from Jurassic Park. See, they keep referencing stuff from Jurassic Park when it's supposed to be Jurassic World.
Yeah, but Jurassic Park 3 was
not
also
a movie.
Showed that they did well. No, but it confirmed. Well, canonically within that universe, it is a thing.
Haven't they retconned anything that happened in Jurassic Park 3?
Nope. Nope.
Why
that
not?
is all canon. That's all canon.
Why would they do that? So the Velociraptors can talk to you in your dreams?
Yes.
Alan.
I forgot about that.
How did you forget about that? That's the only thing I remember from the entire movie. Alan.
Also, low-key, I must say, I actually do like Jurassic Park 3. It's like a guilty pleasure for me. I like it more than 2.
I mean, I think I've been on record as saying that I think all the movies are shit except for 1, so...
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think my ranking of the movies goes Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic Park 2, Fallen Kingdom at the very bottom. But like I said, I love Fallen Kingdom for the one line that is so cringy, where the little this is spoilers, so close your eyes.
Yeah, close your eyes so you don't hear this.
Yeah. But the little British girl goes, "They're alive, look, me," and she frees all the dinosaurs because she's a clone too. I'm like, who wrote this? This is awful. Like, who thought, hey, yeah, human cloning should be in Jurassic Park, and then she should free all the dinosaurs because her logic is, they're like me, they're alive. Like, who thought of that? But like I said, I love that I love that actress. She did such a good job delivering that awful line. I want to meet her someday, just to shake her hand and be like, "It's okay. I'm not blaming you. It's not your fault. You really gave it your all."
That whole series, I've mentioned it before. This is my biggest issue with it, is that it became a monster movie rather than like what
it did. Yeah,
and it's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like seeing giant, dinosaurs. It's the same reason I like the King Kong. Whatever movies, like it's cool to see giant CGI, things fight on screen.
Yeah.
But the core message of like the original Jurassic Park just went whoa, just out the door, and just became a monster movie essentially. And even Steven Spielberg came out and said he's like, "I'm sorry for doing that because I just set a bad precedent for the rest of the series after the second movie."
Yeah, because it became just, oh, look at the scary dinosaurs.
Well, the original ending of Jurassic Park 2 was he was not going to bring in the T-Rex. He was going to have some really like philosophical ending to make you think kind of thing. And then the studio was like, but there's no big dinosaur at the end. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I have to bring in a big dinosaur battle.
I think it was supposed to be closer to like Crichton's original.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I think they were supposed to like kill all the dinosaurs essentially, or like just end the project and realize, oh, this was probably a stupid idea.
Yeah, because like Jurassic World was an enjoyable movie, but once they started doing the hybrid dinosaur, I'm like, this is so dumb. Like,
well, that's when they ran out of ideas. When your franchise that's based around when you ran out of ideas for dinosaur movies, you done fucked up. you went way too far.
Yeah, sorry. We ran out of dinosaurs that are cool, so we just started making some up.
Right. Well, that's like I was saying earlier when we were talking about VR. Like when I went to Great America, they took a roller coaster that had loop-de-loops and went like 65 miles an hour. They're like, we need to give you VR now to make it more interesting. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a roller coaster that goes 175 feet in the air. It does like 6 inversions, but you're telling me kids these days don't think it's interesting enough? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because what I will say about that too, if you're trying to make VR roller coasters, why don't you just do a fake roller coaster, like in one of the, like, you've probably seen those, the little like pods.
Yeah, that move around and spin you around. Yeah,
you get the exact same feeling.
Right.
You know what I mean? As long as those pods can create G's and stuff, you wouldn't know the difference between that and a roller coaster. So, but the fun of a roller coaster is, yeah, you actually are 185, 200 feet in the air. You are going 60 miles an hour.
Not simulating it. You don't need to do a simulation of the thing that's literally happening behind the VR goggles.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just like the same thing with the Jurassic Park series. They started with something that was already an amazing, scary idea. You know, dinosaurs come back to life in modern times, and then they're like, oh shoot, we did it too big. Now we have to make fake dinosaurs to make it interesting again. Yeah, or like, were we talking about cloning? I haven't seen this. I didn't.
You haven't seen Fallen Kingdom?
I don't want to. It looks.
Oh no. My god, that I know you guys stopped doing movie nights and stuff. That's a movie night. If you want a bad movie,
oh really?
It's so awful.
Like so bad it's cringy type thing.
Oh, it's rough.
Now is this like I don't have your chat up, but I know a lot more dinosaur nerds over there. Is this like universally accepted in the Jurassic World fandom?
I don't know. What does everyone in my chat think? Everyone give your opinions.
Yeah, because your chat definitely has the dinosaur nerds in it for sure.
Because weirdly enough, I would actually say that possibly more people are interested, like, at least in the Jurassic Park community, they all are like, oh no, that makes sense. The Indominus is canon, and the Indoraptors, of course that would make the logical sense. Like, I don't know. I hate people that try to defend how bad the decision-making in each movie is.
Right.
As long as you accept it that Jurassic Park is obviously a masterpiece, and then everything after that is just sci-fi movie fun, I'm fine with that.
Todd put it perfectly. The dinosaurs in the Jurassic franchise are an allegory for the Jurassic franchise. 100%. That's a great way to put that.
Yeah, because as an example, like again, this is spoilers, but who cares? You know what's coming out. So the new movie, at the end of the movie, like I said, little clone girl releases all the dinosaurs into the world. So now they're just running around.
Just wild dinosaurs. Okay.
Wild dinosaurs.
Seems good.
So this is the dumb part, because wouldn't the next logical thing be, okay, so then since there's only 30, 40 dinosaurs total in the world, and they're all like just running around lower, Southern California.
Oh, yeah. We could get them. That'd be easy.
You could just shoot them. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way in hell that they would just run wild and be able to torment people and kill people regularly. Yeah, I could imagine one or two attacks, but it wouldn't be like, oh my god, every day. Like, this isn't coronavirus where we're dealing with dinosaur attacks.
Less than 48 hours, that would be contained. Same reason that there'll never be a zombie outbreak, right? It would be contained so fast.
We say that, and then we're in coronavirus.
I know.
It's like, we say that.
I know.
In the future, look, we have a zombie outbreak. I don't want to take the vaccine.
Oh my god!
But do you really know what's in that vaccine? Because I heard that you get sick. Fuck off.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we know that it doesn't give you the zombie virus? I think I'm gonna willing to take my chances.
Hey, all these scientists say that it's safe to say. Yeah, but who do those scientists really work for? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Anyways, we don't need to go down that path.
No, I know, but that would be the equivalent.
We already did.
I love Jurassic World. Like, the first Jurassic World.
The reboot?
Have
the reboot was fun.
I was like, has anyone seen Fallen Kingdom? Please back me up here, because it is such a bad movie.
Jurassic World was fine for what it was, but it was kind of like The Force Awakens, where it was literally a remake of the first movie. And that's why it was good.
You know what? Jurassic Park or Jurassic World might be a great comparison to Star Wars. It, like, the first movie and the sequel relied so heavily on remaking the first one that it's like, it's too similar that I can't hate it. Because it's just the same thing.
No, because your member berries or your nostalgia berries are like, oh, I remember this. This
and
feels
the second one, they crack their knuckles and they're like, okay, now that we rehashed everything, let's get weird. Right. And then that's kind of what happens.
That's true. Yeah, they're pretty much identical to each other. Well, yeah, we'll see what this last. Is this going to be like a wrap up? Or are they saying like it's going to be a trilogy for the Jurassic World series?
Because I've talked to Best in Slot about this and stuff. I'm like, how does it feel to know that your entire channel revolves around this franchise that's ending next year?
Yeah.
His entire livelihood is based around a franchise that once it's gone, what then? You know what I mean? And then he's like, yeah, I don't know. I've thought about that because I don't know if maybe they'll make another one. Maybe they'll make maybe they will just keep making crap because haha, isn't that funny? What is this game?
I don't know. It's a ghost game?
MMO, but
I'm a ghost.
You don't have animations. That's the game. You don't have a walking animation as a ghost. Yeah, it's not ending. Okay, so then that's it. So that's the idea. Is basically they're just gonna keep making
always Jurassic
Park movie, which is like why. So we have Jurassic. So we had Jurassic Park, then Jurassic World. Are we gonna do Jurassic Planet, and then we're gonna have a
Jurassic Space?
Dinosaur.
I would love that. I would actually love that if they embraced how stupid the fucking franchise gets.
Velociraptor.
Like, dinosaurs have evolved technology to let them travel to other planets.
Just imagine a Velociraptor floating through space with a space helmet on. Like that's actually designed for the raptor head.
and then they go to the International Space Station. And it's like raptors on the space.
So wait, are we saying we're going to combine Planet of the Apes and like Jurassic Park, and then have some alternate universe where dinosaurs became smarter than humans and started
they killed off all the humans, and then they just started a dinosaur society.
Right. Oh, there's the title: Jurassic Galaxy Tokyo Drift. There it is. Done. Yep. What else do you need? Oh no.
Or in the case of the third, you double down on stupidity. Yeah, I mean that's true. Because again, I sort of like Jurassic Park 3 for what it is. I get it. It's awful, and it embraces its awful. Because Jurassic Park 3, yeah, other than the Alan thing, what do people remember? I can't remember any name of a character from that movie other than Alan Grant. But I remember the stuff they wanted to promote. I remember the Pteranodon aviary scene. I remember the Spinosaurus being badass. And I remember like that one scene where like the raptor, like they're in like the museum or whatever, and then they're like, oh look, it's a like frozen raptor head, and then it's like, oh no, it's an actual raptor. Like those are the scenes that stick with me. I don't remember any of the shitty writing or anything. And so from that perspective, I do look at it nostalgically, where when I see the Jurassic, like if Jurassic World 3 adds the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, I'd be cool with it. I'd be like, yeah, that looks cool. I get some people are like, actually, it's not accurate anymore. No, the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 is badass. If you think Best in Slot's obsessed with Jurassic Park, you have to check Clayton Fiordi channel. I don't know what that is.
That's my dad.
Is he?
Yeah.
Talk to him.
We go way back. Oh, nice.
What is he promoting? Oh, it's a commercial. Never mind.
Oh, yes, TikTok. Let's go, boys.
Let's talk it up, boys. I actually still don't have one, and it's not because I
don't have one.
I'm not a millennial or whatever. I don't have one. I don't need another social media site. I feel like
I don't have it, but Julie said that I should set one up. Just because it's apparently really good for gaining audio, which is true. I've had friends that, they went from being a nobody, 30 followers, whatever.
Right.
They got a viral TikTok, and then boom, they're at like 7,000-8,000.
I just don't know what we would do except like
time lapses, but like reduce it down to a minute.
Let me take this 40-minute time lapse and yeah.
Or the other option.
The whatever they're called.
Showcase the animals. When the North America pack comes out, look at 1 minute of the baby sea lion.
Yeah.
Because
can you do TikTok through your computer then?
No. Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It is, yeah. But like at the same time, TikTok is a really good algorithm because there's no fluff to it. It's either you get interested by the first 5 seconds of it and you only have to watch 15 seconds, which, that's nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like how many times, like our analytics all probably say on average people watch 4 minutes or 5 minutes of your video, whatever. Of like a 30-minute video, you engage them for 4.5 minutes. Cool. if you can do 15 seconds, you can be popular. And then, especially something as basic as animals, I could see people being interested in that, where they're just like, oh yeah, that is a cute sea lion. And then, oh yeah, that is a
Survival
cute
City Builder. Hold on, what is this?
This is Halo. This is
roll
Halo.
for things?
Oh?
This looks kind of interesting. Hold on, let me turn this up a little bit.
We gathered knowledge. We established a society.
What are the dice?
That's what I'm curious on. I think it's like food and military and stuff. Like it's D&D, yeah.
We conducted.
Shut up, I'm interested.
And we made sacrifices.
Oh. Roguelike experience, of course.
In an attempt to escape our fate. Fate. Oh,
Dice
cruel
Legacy.
fate.
I'm gonna put that on my thing.
Interesting.
I like the dice element.
Yeah, let me look that up. Dice. Oh, so you can do TikTok on whatever?
Oh, you can?
Okay.
You might be able to. Okay.
Cool.
It might be a little bit more.
And you can do 3-minute uploads once you have enough things. YouTube Shorts has basically gave me 100 subs. Yeah, YouTube is really promoting YouTube Shorts right now. Any short form on like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, any short form stuff, they're really promoting it heavy right now. What was that called? Dice Roller? Legacy. Dice Legacy.
I don't know, how do you make shorts? That's the only thing that I wondered, because like it seemed like you had to make a video that's long and then you have to turn it into a short.
Oh, I've never looked into it.
Because I know Estan's made a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's recorded them from his phone.
Okay.
Like on the app.
Yeah, I think you
can
because
do
I
it.
think you have to do it from your phone, because that's what was confusing. Is I saw like they would have like my, let's say I had like a 20-minute video of a time lapse. They're like, okay, do you want to like cut up the highlights and make it into a short? And I'm like, I mean, not really. I would, if I wanted to make a short, I would have made it.
Excuse me.
For
Right.
A short.
They have to be less than 60 seconds in a vertical video, so it does have to be like a live thing. It sounds like.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really work. So like today on Instagram, I did that. I recorded a 30-second video promoting today's stream for a reel.
Yeah, so you could do that, I guess.
So yeah, if you're going live or if you have a video coming out, it's like just actually film your computer, I guess. Like, hey, I just uploaded a video. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the only other thing I can think of is like Leaf and I could like whenever we go to the zoo, we could do like a short thing like that.
Ooh.
This is kind of cool. Is this like a dwarf fortress type? No,
That's actually not a bad idea.
roguelite city building.
Frankly, I would prefer that. I would prefer like just recording like a minute at the zoo instead of like trying to make a
whole vlog.
well-edited, well-edited vlog.
You could totally do a TikTok day at the zoo or whatever, or shorts, whatever they're called. Yeah, reels, all that. 16 minutes till PK. Yeah, we're getting close, everybody. About another 21 minutes. 26 minutes? Yeah, 26 minutes. Remember, it's at 3.
I gotta say, I'm actually very impressed I've had this many concurrent viewers.
You look at your viewers, I keep my viewer count off.
Well, because I have it equal with my chat. I look at it from the viewer dashboard.
I pop out my chat.
Oh, okay.
I pop it out and make it full screen so I don't see anything else except for chat.
Yeah, I have my chat, my stream settings if it's good, whatever, and then I have like likes and concurrent viewers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I like how they're putting all of the roguelike city builders back to back right now.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Is like, do you want to bury these games? Do you want no one to see them?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna remember.
Who chooses the order?
Yeah, because that was crazy. There was literally like 3 roguelikes back to back. Hey,
that's what I'm wondering. Like,
wait, where's this flamingo shirt?
Because
he changed.
Oh.
He still has his purple undershirt, but he changed his flamingo shirt.
Because I am genuinely wondering that. Like, are they gonna try to put like the dinosaur games next to each other?
Right, back to back, yeah. Like, does the Isle, like that's a dinosaur game, right? Does that have any new stuff coming out?
Not enough. They would put it at
okay.
Gamescom.
What's this?
That's my favorite thing too. Is at all of this. This is.
This looks like
Rampage. It's
yeah,
Rampage.
it looks like Rampage. Terror of Hemosaurus. What?
Yeah.
This looks.
It's Chibi Rampage.
Oh, I loved Rampage back in the day.
Clock Sloth.
What the fuck? Dude, I might be into it. It's the total rip from older games, but whatever.
Yeah.
Punish
like,
unbelievers.
It looks like Let's Build a Zoo.
It kind of does.
Well, it actually really looks like a game I made. I'm gonna let me see if I'm gonna wait until the end of this like trailer and stuff, because I assume the next game, whatever it is probably not gonna be that interesting. I'm gonna pull up a game that I made. It looks exactly like this.
Well, you were just a few years too early.
Yeah.
Watch this one pop off and get like Game of the Year.
Oh, probably.
Well, I mean, to be honest, a lot of younger kids who've never heard of Rampage, they might see this and be like, "Oh, that's a cool idea for a game." What is this? Frontier. Frontier Foundry. This is, oh no, never mind. Farling Frontier. What is, oh, is this a space battle game?
I love how all these companies are called Frontier, because I checked my emails this morning. I get Frontier Airlines, Frontier Development.
Yep. All the Frontier. It's the final Frontier. Okay, I'm kind of interested in this. The top-down map view.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm immediately turned off by any game that's like RTS top-down camera. I don't know why, I hate that like perspective, which is the dumbest thing, but like
this looks kind of cool.
Large explosions.
If this is like what it is.
The lighting's beautiful.
Yeah, that's probably what's gaining my eye a lot more than anything. It almost looks like a tabletop like board game, but with really cool graphics.
Of other places to explore, like a nebula. Ships travel faster.
I'm looking for this game right now.
Yeah.
Fuel.
I just forget what we even called it.
So they consume food, and of course ships spend munitions whenever they fire. So
Little of Homeworld. Yeah, it does kind of have that look, doesn't it?
Actually, think about when you're actually playing the game. So it's got a lot of the classic things that you would find in a normal RTS, like base building.
Oh, do you get to customize
but it also
it?
borrows different elements from the 4X genre, such as
I like the
ship
grittiness to
design.
the graphics.
And you can actually come into the ship editor and you can change the different
Customize, quote unquote. It's just little additions, but it's nice.
Yeah. It's JWE levels of customization.
And you
Oh,
can
yeah.
just have these custom configurations to just really suit your actual purposes for
a lot of versatility.
Your flotillas.
Here we go.
Further
Tremors
to
is
that,
what we
you've
called it.
also
What an
got
awful
ship
name.
in Eternals as well. So every ship has a bridge, crew,
Here we go.
crews,
Here's the
jump
game.
drive, engine, stuff like that, and again, you can unlock.
I'm gonna play it right now on
different
stream.
components and
Hell yeah.
It doesn't
and
work though
apply
because it's not
these
multi.
to
But yeah, here's the
every
aesthetic
ship
of it. So it can't
just
work
to
because you
have
normally
a
need a
really
server, but
unique,
this is just the aesthetic.
customized flotilla.
And, it's like
but
the
you can
same
also
thing, but I don't know if the
add
meteors will
special
spawn.
abilities like,
They might.
the ability to
I'm curious.
lay
Basically,
a
the idea. Yeah, here we go.
every ship
So this was the game.
attach a ship to maybe the underside of an asteroid, so it can
Literally,
lay
like
in
the
wait
meteors would
and
just like
perhaps do a bit of an
It was
ambush,
basically a
do
battle
bit of
royale, I
recon.
guess.
There's really a whole bunch of different options, and it's just
But yeah,
really
I did like all
There
the
you go,
art
guys.
for it.
So you can see what he's playing there.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you showing me
Yes.
this.
Here's Nick's game.
As well, you've got
Yeah.
crew, so you've got both enlisted and also
It was just
crew.
this stupid. We
So
made it in
command
like a
crew are really
weekend or
important.
something. But basically, it's just like a
They-
little
they are
Oh, the
battle
meteorites.
royale. Yeah, the
on,
meteors just keep getting progressively faster.
Nice.
They can be killed, injured,
And then yeah, they
and
just
can also
destroy the
be
town and
upgraded
stuff.
too,
And
so
That's
they can
cute.
we added little
perks and
physics
skills that
stuff,
will
so like
enhance
like
ship.
the cars and whatever. Actually, we add it so that
And
like
here
the more the
we've got
cars
a
get
ship
damaged, they have like
jumping
different
into
like
the combat
destructible like
area,
states and stuff.
as
Mhm.
previously they are
And I actually
physical
gotta say the
so
CPU AI
different-
wasn't
different,
terrible.
different
Like I mean,
asteroids,
they lasted longer than they probably should have.
projectiles will
Yeah, but yeah, I think this is an
also
earlier state where
Which
like
I
the
had that
meteors would
problem.
only
ships,
spawn in the
some
center.
will, penetrate through and
Eventually we had it so that they would, you know, blow whatever. But it was kind of cool. So yeah, I did all the art for it. But like I said, it looks very similar to that in a more polished state.
So you'll see ships just starting to lose control.
But yeah, that was made by
just sort
me
of
and my buddy Joe.
whisked away
And
Joe Mama.
distance,
Joe
crew
Mama.
trying
I'm
to
sorry,
actually,
you can kick me out of the
escape,
call.
which can
Kick yourself out.
if it's an enemy crew, or they can be rescued if they're friendly.
let's see.
In the event
An
that
adorable
you
apocalypse.
capture
Yep,
crew,
basically.
then they
I think this would be kind of cool.
Interrogated and perhaps you can find out
Maybe.
different bits of information.
I wish I could get into the whole space aesthetic. Because the last space game I played was Spore. That was years ago.
I would actually be fine if they made. If I know Maxis probably would never do this, or EA, I'd want them to make another Spore game.
Yeah, but make it so that it's fun after the space age.
I mean, the space age wasn't even fun.
That's what I mean. Like the first like 3 stages were really fun.
Yeah,
and then
the 3 stages were fun, and then after that, just
then you're like, okay, I have to go sing to these people or something.
Yeah.
I love that game. So I have such a love-hate relationship with Spore because it's such a cool idea.
What's funny is like Galactic Adventures was also fun. So what's weird about it is because Galactic Adventures was basically let's take the second stage in Spore and just make it, you know, what you'd expect, where you're like a guy colonizing other planets. It was kind of ahead of its time. It was kind of like No Man's Sky in that regard. I love these beavers, by the way. This is adorable.
What is this?
Well, yeah, what is this?
This is a simulation game about beavers.
I'm interested.
Timberborn. Okay,
I'm intrigued.
Throw that on the wish list.
Iron Teeth? Shut up, are you playing as a bunch of beavers?
Yeah. Basically just an RTS city builder where you're beavers.
Sorry, what was it called? Timberborn?
Timberborn.
Okay.
I'm fine with this. This is cute.
It's cute.
Yeah, there it is.
Now again, this is one of those things. Probably a pretty niche game. You know, the entire joke is haha, it's a beaver. But it's cute.
Maybe it could do something different as a result, so I don't know. Maybe don't expect it on our channels, but you know, it's something to look at.
It's cute. It's definitely one of those things where I can look at it and be like, yeah, that's cute.
John T played this a while back. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Those guys get early access to everything. Like 2 years early and stuff. You never hear about it. Well, speaking of John T, he got access to Prehistoric Kingdom, like you know, when it was a totally different game.
That's what I love about this community, right? Is like the tiers of knowing people that are like really popular. Like Jonty is like way ahead of all of us, like subscriber wise and stuff. And like he's just casually like cool to like hang out with you guys and talk. Oh yeah,
I mean, we've hung out in real life, and you know we have D&D every Sunday and stuff like
Exactly.
He's just a dude.
So interesting.
Yeah, I mean, other communities aren't like that. Though. I know what you're getting at, and a lot of it's elitist in a sense. Like, oh, that's I don't know if it's really the Sims community, but I feel like the Sims is a little bit like that, where it's like, oh, that's James Turner.
Big key.
Yeah, right. Like, oh, don't talk to James and his girlfriend, Day Lady Simmer or whatever. I don't know her name, but
random game pulled out of nowhere.
No, they have similar names. Day Ligracy, Day Lady Simmer.
This is
Okay, what is this game? Okay, again, with all these games.
Yeah, this looks exactly the same.
They're all just blending together.
It's like an Age of Empires.
Except they're not beavers.
They're not beavers, so it's less
matter.
You're right.
Yeah, like, that's kind of the thing, is I get why you do those kind of like crutches just to stand out. Like, look, it's different because they're beavers. Because if you just make a generic fantasy game, no one's like immediately grabbed. Like, I'm not drawn in by this. I'm just like, yep, it's skeletons.
It looks like stuff we've seen for the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
No.
Oh look!
What? I didn't do anything.
Baba Yaga.
Hey, listen, Day Lady Simmer is low key a really good free simming name or sim name, so y'all should take that. Yeah, I'm super uninterested with this whole aesthetic in game because, like we just said, we
want to know what this looks like. Unfortunately, a Unity asset store. Trailer.
No, it's like a show off.
Yeah, it looks like, hey, buy my medieval RTS set off the Unity or Unreal asset store. And I feel
are those hogs?
I mean, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of
nice.
Funny. That's funny though.
Yeah.
Wait,
wild hogs.
Did anyone notice that they were naked though?
Yeah, they just got
no, I cared more about the hogs.
The hogs, yeah, right.
Yeah, well, I looked at them too, and then at the very last second, I recognized the people were naked.
Oh, they are. I just watched it on the go back from your stream.
Yeah,
they are naked.
They just got doing the business. Is this the Titanic? Oh no.
What is this, Game of Thrones?
Yeah. What are you? Oh,
Jesus!
Oh shit!
Let's go!
Oh, it's on now. someone in the background. Oh, they're going to hell for that one. I'm going to hell for a lot worse than that. What is that? You should put that on you already. That's hot. That's gonna be hot.
So excited.
Wow, I'm really inspired. I'm such a shithead.
I'm thinking of becoming a Waylanders channel.
Wow.
What the hell is this?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, this is perfect.
Okay, wait, this reminds me of that one game that you sent me,
What's
Leaf.
that one game?
Superflight.
Superflight, yeah.
Yeah, where it's just like randomly.
But this looks like it's like that
like
plus.
Yeah, like geometry.
Holy shit, dude! How do you even tell where you're going?
Yeah, literally. I think this is literally just Superflight, but they decided to make it on acid.
Yeah, this is. If I knew what acid was like, that's how you're supposed to follow that up, because then you don't out yourself as.
Yeah. I've never done drugs.
Yeah, someone slipped LSD into my tea. I think so.
Perhaps.
I'm gonna have a epiphany playing this game. There's like words throughout it. Yeah, there's like a little like interwoven story in between it.
Oh, so you have to like look for like phrases,
clues and stuff. Yeah, I think it's gonna be like a mindfuck game.
I'm
here for it.
I got SpongeBob up here. Drew, you don't know. I have a. I went to Mexico, right? And I went to this little arts and crafts fair, and I found this SpongeBob bong. I'm not really an avid smoker myself,
right?
But
I
figured I had to get it.
Why wouldn't you?
Because it looks jank. Hold on, I'll send it.
Yeah, do you have a picture of this bad boy there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful looking.
This isn't what acid is like. Trust me, says Harry. Gotcha. Harry would know.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
If you got teaser for GTA 6,
this is what DMT is like. It's like next level.
Yeah, no, if you're out in the middle of a desert with a Native American guy who gives you some
oh my
peyote,
god,
this is what this is
what
like.
What was that called again?
Peyote.
I didn't even know what it was called.
I mean, I think.
Oh look, it's Winnie the Pooh.
I don't remember when it started.
I don't think we'll hear from Grand Theft Auto 6 for another 10 years. I'm not even being coy about that. Like, I really don't think we'll ever hear about Grand Theft Auto 6.
Probably, I would say 2025.
Yeah. Well, they've come out so many times saying, like, we have no plans, we don't even know what we would base it off of.
Well, they did start development on it.
Did they?
Yeah, they have officially said they have. I believe the rumor was it's going to take place in Virginia.
That's interesting.
It's a weird place to set up.
No, that's kind of cool because Virginia, if you don't know,
if they do DC.
Well, because that's the thing, they could do DC. They'll probably do it like Los Santos, where they make it the whole state, because then you could have more West Virginia for half the state and stuff like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and have the mountain men and have the southern part. Yeah, Virginia is like a microcosm of a lot of different areas in the United States combined.
Yeah, and then I suppose if they included DC, that would make sense, because that'd be the fun kind of.
That'd be the big city to go into, and then the rest of it would be like the mountains and Appalachia and stuff like that. Not really 10 years Silver Fox. I was being a sarcastic asshole.
Plus, also like all the juicy political commentary that happened with that.
Dude. Well, that's why they said they weren't going to make one for a while, because they during the Trump presidency, they're like, "What would we do?" Like it's every day you wake up and we would already be behind. At least now we have.
Wasn't that the issue with Far Cry 5? Everyone was saying,
everyone
was like, "Oh, this is a comment about Trump and what he said this way," and it's like, no, like I remember like even Ubisoft was like, "We're just trying to make a game, guys." Not ever like I get it takes place in America, but like we're not trying to say anything here. We're just trying to make a game.
I just reinstalled Far Cry 5 and it's
just holds amazing.
Yeah,
I know that's a thing apparently with Far Cry 6 too. Everyone's like trying to set like I guess like Ubisoft had to like flip flop on like 10 different ideas about whether or not the game is supposed to be political.
Yeah,
and the commentary on like Colombia.
Like Grand Theft Auto, I think it should be like a political commentary a little bit, because that's just they do a really good job usually about that to toe both lines. But Far Cry though, I mean, I know it's they take place in international type stuff, but I don't know if that one needs to be.
Yeah, no.
Overtly.
It's not. It's stupid. You're going to weird, wacky locations and shooting stuff.
Yeah. There's nothing more to it than that. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what the next Grand Theft Auto does, though, because yeah, they have. I mean, when did 5 come out? 5 came out in
2011, 12?
Yeah, it's over 10 years old now, or just about 10 years old, so a lot has happened in between then that they could comment about, obviously.
Yeah, we have 5 minutes, everyone.
Here we go, 5 minutes!
300 seconds. Keep that less. I just want Mao to come out and be like, "Hello, everyone. We have nothing to report about."
I told you guys. They're gonna do it. I told you they're gonna do it. They're gonna come out and say our news is that the beta is gonna be released next summer.
From what I can tell, they did delay the game until at least like early access. They did definitively say Q1, 2022.
Right.
So I was saying, it is possible the beta could be like October or something.
So what are we hoping to see from the trailer? I know we already know waterfalls and other things are coming, but like, what do we want to see?
I want rides.
I'll be honest. This is maybe selfish. I want to see their Triceratops totem.
No, you can't, because you'll steal it again, you thief.
I'm just curious how it sizes up. You know what I mean? Like,
Leaf, you just got nailed. Dude, you're getting pelted. So what do we expect? Do you want a beta release date is what my chat's saying. They want to know a beta release date.
Beta release date, they confirmed. That is positive that we are getting the beta release.
Yes, we will get that.
I'm interested in the mammoths because I love elephants.
Yeah, so I think I'm most excited for that. See their fur on the animal.
And then past that, I just kind of want to see maybe the flexi color in action. If we're getting that.
But what if you got a chance to peek into the
and then the new pieces. Like I'm basically treating this like a Planet Zoo DLC trailer. Right. So I want to see the new pieces. I want to see the animals and their animations. And then that's all I'm expecting.
Right.
And then the beta, fingers crossed, beta is sooner rather than later. But past that, I don't care. I just want to see more PK. I haven't seen PK since I played the alpha, so.
Yeah, I haven't played it in months, so.
I just did a speed build today. Had to bring the dioramas into it.
Dude, nice. Well, it's so much easier, right? Because you can place the animals how you want them and everything.
Oh.
That's what I was saying, yeah. Because I was saying, like, once we get FlexiColor, it's game over. Like, then people will actually continue to play PK. Because the only limitation was that aspect where, because I was watching Leaf, he was basically doing a Jurassic Park diorama. And the issue is, I was like, oh, you should do the Jeeps, but he couldn't make the Jeeps because the Jeeps are like red and green.
Right.
And we don't have pieces for that. So, but I'm like, once we get that, you can do stuff like that, and it would be more interesting.
Right.
But
I want them to, I don't even know how to word it, but I want them to tighten up the controls too. It just felt very
a bit clunky.
Yeah, like it was very similar to the Planet series, but just different enough where I was, like you said, I was clunking over my buttons.
If they can, this is a minor thing, but key mapping or key binding. So that I can change, because I would really, I get like the V thing is close. I would really prefer to just key map the V key to X,
I got you.
So it's consistent with Planet Zoo.
Right.
Because I always hated that flipping between the games and be like, oh yeah, shit, I'm doing the wrong control. Because they're just so similar that you just get confused.
Right, let me get ready to turn up YouTube.
Same,
All right.
And then I figure afterwards, guys, we'll probably break it down, together and all that kind of fun stuff. So. Or else, I think this is about to be it.
Gamescom 2021 is presented by Pluto TV. Free to watch.
Here we go, everybody.
Oh, Scrabbles, let's go.
The Indie Village, let's go.
Hello, my name's Joe Scrabbles.
Oh, what I don't actually know is when they said 406, do they mean directly that is when the trailer is
Or is that when the indie thing starts? Yeah. Oh shit, you're right, dude. That's when the indie thing starts. So...
Oh, damn it.
Cool.
So we don't actually know. So we have to just wait until even more. Because we don't know.
Bold, put your boner away. Bold said I have a pre-boner. Nope, maybe put your boner away.
We're going to be waiting a little bit.
Don't worry, we'll stick with it though. If it comes right up, we'll... not Bold's boner, but the video.
I like the look of this guy.
This guy looks,
I like the look of this guy.
I want, if I see him at a bar, I'd buy him a beer.
Yeah, just friendly, like, hey guy.
Yeah.
How's the night going?
You're the Gamescom guy, right?
This is that's kind of cool. It's an
it's a
African
physics-based or like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool because apparently it was made by an African studio, so that's kind of cool because that's pretty rare.
What's it called?
Well, I don't know. Super Meat Boy featuring bouncing.
Ah. Are they not going to show the name of it?
It's this guy.
There's Zoo game yet? Not yet.
They didn't tell us the name of that game.
Yeah, it's just okay.
Okay, now we're back to the top of these guys. Hatfield, are you related to James Hatfield, the drummer for Metallica, sir? Hey, Jess.
Gamescom now has you covered. Plus, if you take part in the Gamescom
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're gonna be waiting a while, I think. How long is this segment supposed to go for?
Yeah, at first, because I don't know about you, like when they said 406, I thought that meant like, oh, we're so precise that we know we are.
Yeah.
No, they were just given
trailer at this time.
Oh, here we go. Soon. Oh, Age of Empires 4 trailer coming out. That's cool. But what about? Great. Well, let me look up the. Let's look up the schedule that I sent you earlier, Nick, because that had Gamescom. There it is. Schedule.
Oh, look, it's Bloodborne.
There it is. Thursday.
This is literally just Bloodborne.
So we have, let me bring this over here for everyone. We have the Gamescom Awesome Indies starting right now, and that goes until 8:30 p.m. CST.
Oh no.
10 p.m.
Wait, are you serious?
It goes from 1 p.m. PST to 10 p.m. CEST.
What?
Oh no! So we totally started streaming at the wrong time, essentially. We sort of started now.
So we should have started now.
Yep.
And we have no idea when it's airing.
Nope. We could be here for the next 6 hours or whatever, waiting.
Oh, I'm gonna read their Discord.
Yeah, maybe go try to find some info. Drunk Zoo time? I have vodka.
Oh, what's this? What's this? Is this it? Oh,
Whoa.
Here it is.
Is this it?
This is it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go, everyone. Let me turn it up.
Okay, well now I feel less dumb. So that's Tarbosaurus?
Ooh, there's the screenshot.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, statues. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm about that.
Mammoth, beautiful.
Recolorable.
Different skins,
Yeah.
nice. Are these new?
These are new. That's a new,
They kind of look like
animal.
kookaburras.
Yeah, a little bit. Ah, power going out.
Oh.
That's cool, the animations for that. What is that bird?
I like how they're treating this like a Planet Zoo trailer. So, like, the music was like the
Yeah.
PK theme. April?
Oh, God!
December 6th! Oh!
Oh!
That's... Yeah, that's a yikes.
That's after November. God damn.
Whoa.
All right.
Well,
let me turn this down real quick. What's the next thing?
Oh, boy.
If the next thing's not interesting, we'll go ahead and look at that trailer.
we
It's
got,
not.
I don't think it's interesting. Okay.
Okay, so it looks like everyone is definitely hyped for that trailer, but what do we feel about that December beta release? That's
yikes.
Yikes. That's kind of...
I think, like, I'm not gonna lie. Hype was really high. And now, I know we've discussed this, like, the three of us, well, even four of us, including Estan. And I was saying that there's definitely there was some, like, indications that not everything's going so hot with development. Now, that's natural for any game, but I remember, like, they were just reiterating constantly, oh, it's coming out, quarter three, coming out quarter three, don't you worry. August is still quarter three, everyone. And then now, yeah, they're like, oh no, this is like,
that's not
I don't even know if you can count the late December as quarter four. That's like practically Q1, or I guess it's early December. It's early December, but that's definitely late Q4. of 2021. And then pushing April 2022, that's now Q2 of 2022. So I don't know. I mean, now I have a theory here. Do you think they changed it in part due to Jurassic World Evolution?
I think they might have.
Yeah.
Just to like, I don't know. I feel like their building mechanics are going to be better. So once everyone's bored of like the Jurassic World Evolution shtick, they're going to be like, oh, I want to actually build my park. So people are going to flock to this game.
Because what I also will say that I actually respect the devs and stuff in the way they've talked about the game. So a lot of people wondered, why is PK no longer available to download, right? Or why can you no longer buy the game? And they actually have clarified this. It's actually because they were saying that a game that is a brand new game, if everyone already owns it before it goes to early access, the algorithm on Steam is going to destroy it. So what they were hoping for is everyone doesn't own the game and is just wanting it so badly that once the game is available to purchase, everyone buys it. It goes high up on the Steam charts. Then it, people who otherwise didn't know about the game would want to purchase it. So, like, from that, I do respect that, but I also think it's kind of that's a big gamble to basically be like, we're going to hype up this game that you can't play and can't buy for the hope that by the time it is available to purchase, you'll still care. Because I do think that is a bit of a gamble.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be considered smart. I'm a little iffy. So, yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I liked everything I saw in the trailer, but just, yeah, that was kind of a gut punch at the end of it. Because it's just been a little bit since, Alpha has come out now. I mean, what are we going, like 4 months, 3 months removed? So it just would have been cool to, like, at least maybe get an update in between there, like an Alpha 0.5 or like 1.5 or something. Because personally, I think you guys are the same. I don't see us going back and playing Alpha Prehistoric Kingdom, really. I mean, Leaf, I know you did a speed build, but...
Yeah, again, because it's just, there's not a lot to do. And I am glad that, yeah, they do seem to be focusing a lot on the building and stuff. And all of this is really nice, the buildings and stuff. I also will say there's not a lot of pieces that are new.
But they don't need to, really, right? Because of all the stretching and flexi-color and stuff, I guess. And you can switch out the texture.
To some extent, but like even to a greater level, really what is new? I see thatch is new. This new type of material for the building platform, I don't know what that would be.
The tarps are new? Well, I guess the color of tarps are new. That's...
The torches, and that's new, and then statues, which are always nice.
And yeah, a lot of my chat is saying, and I do agree with you guys that they'd rather them take their time and make it a really, really good game and not rush it or anything. I agree, definitely. It's just at this point, when Alpha came out, was it 4 months ago or whatever?
Yeah, it comes down to, and we've discussed this on a Take Two before. We've discussed this when the game came out. We love Prehistoric Kingdom. They shouldn't have given it to us. Because they screwed up their own marketing, in my opinion. Because by giving the content creators this game, we hyped it up when it wasn't available. And we're going to keep playing it, for a little bit. And like the beta will be another example. We're going to play the beta in December. Awesome. December, we're going to have this game. We're going to have JWE. We're going to have Planet Zoo probably with birds. It's going to be a lot of content in December. And then we're going to play PK through the beta. And maybe that'll last... maybe a month or two, right? And then maybe at that point, if they still hit that April launch date, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if they'll hit that April date. If they're coming in this close with the beta, I don't know if early access is truly gonna be in April. You know what I mean?
I will say I do agree with Savannah, like all the way back up there. I've been holding this one in. But PK and JWE2 being spaced out from one another, I feel like, I don't know, I'm very much into both games. I feel like both games are going to be completely different from each other. Yeah, they both have dinosaurs. Yeah, you're making Dinosaur Park. And yeah, you're making some scenery with it, but still they're pretty different games when it all comes down to it.
They are.
And I don't know, I'm just happy that we'll get our fill of JWE 2, and then we can move on to PK once the itch starts to really come back.
I agree.
For beta.
I think, again, and I know we've just, because it just I forgot what that Take Two podcast was even about originally, where we discussed this in detail. But it just reminds me of that podcast that we did where we were discussing, we hyped up this game during the alpha of early access of a game that is probably still a few years out. And then they want us to hype up the beta, which we're doing. We're all, here's the beta! And it's still not out for a few months. And then we'll get the beta and it's like, awesome! And the game's still not out. And it's early access and you could buy the game, but it's still not done. And then we'll have the actual beta and then the actual release. It's just like, you can't just, it's kind of like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. It's really hard to be hyped for a game that tries to generate hype every few months equally, where it's just like every few months, here we go, hey, look, it's another trailer, hey, it's another up. It's like, yeah, we get it, you know, we just want to play the game. Like, so I would personally rather just wait until the game was just done or like close to being out publicly before covering it. And like obviously like playing the alpha and beta is awesome and stuff, but it's, I don't even know if we're really benefiting that much by having it right now, because we have it and we have reported bugs and whatever, and then we'll get the beta and then report some more bugs, and then by early access it'll be pretty stable and maybe the general public will still, you know, enjoy it and stuff. But it's just, it's still pretty bare bones, where I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about just the constant like hype and death cycle of the game as a good marketing strategy. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my biggest thing is that I'm just so excited for it. I don't want to wait. that's really my whole thing. Is like, I'm not like, I don't mean to sound super negative or anything, but yeah, that's my first gut reaction is like, man, this stuff looks so cool, but fuck, we gotta wait another.
Yeah, we want it, yeah. And that's just kind of the shit, is like, you know, is that every dinosaur? I'm gonna go to the Prehistoric Kingdom website right now, because I am curious if that's all the animals confirmed now. So maybe
yeah,
not.
15 new dinosaurs.
So,
well, 15 total unique species.
So we know, so this one is, I don't know what kind of small raptor that is. It's this thing. This is the other exhibit animal, right? So we know about that. I think it's pretty safe to say that Stegosaurus is one of these. I think that's, you know, pretty obvious, right? And then that's the Torvo. I think that's the Torvo, yeah. So, and then what was that? That was Camarasaurus. So, wait, are you new? Or are you the... That could be new. Protoceratops? Oh, wait, here it is. Protoceratops already in. Okay, so... So yeah, just one new dinosaur reveal, and we have basically two dinosaurs we don't know about, is what I can tell. Actually, yeah. So we have two more left, and then that'll complete out the early access roster. So I don't know. So maybe by the time beta comes out, we get another reveal, and then. Because, yeah, I don't know, like, do you maybe think that was part of the reason why the development vlogs or devlogs stopped? Because you know how we used to get, like, a dinosaur a month? And then they're like, shit, we're out of dinosaurs if we have to now stretch this until next April? That could have been.
I don't know why they stopped, but, yeah, I don't know.
Well, that would probably make sense if they don't have enough to cover, really, to stretch it another. What is that? 6 months?
Wait, where were the flames?
They were here. I got you.
The torches.
Yeah. If you look at my stream, I got it paused on. Yeah, we got like some tiki torches coming.
Ooh, because the fire, the waterfalls. Oh my god, I love that shot of the friggin' Tarbosaur. I don't even know what that is, but I don't know. I'm very excited.
They have a better Savannah shot than the Safari Pack.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, they only stopped the devlogs for 1 month. They only didn't do one. So it's not
Yeah,
like they...
well, I'm saying that, but obviously, you know, let's say they announce another dinosaur.
Is that a larger aviary in the background? You see that? It's a large aviary or a custom built one.
Could be both.
Computer enhance.
Yeah,
that's a custom built one.
Okay.
Huh.
So it's, you know, I mean, we could already kind of do that, but you know, it's definitely cool to see.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those, because I think we're all just in agreement. We're like, it looks awesome. We want to play it.
Look at that outstanding waterfall on the right.
So the waterfalls are, I guess, confirmed that those are a special effect then. So something similar to Planet Zoo, where you'll place it down and it'll make the. Or is it like physics based, where if you have water that's higher than another water level, it just naturally flows down?
I'm kind of wondering if we're gonna get more fire and stuff.
I feel like it might just be a placeable effect.
I think so too. Yeah, because especially the one in the upper right-hand corner on my screen, it's just coming out of the mountainside.
Especially because they kind of seem to spam it everywhere.
It's better than my fake waterfalls.
Hey, that worked pretty well with the plaster pieces or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, it's not a bad technique if you put that on top of the particle effect.
Now, something that I'm a little interested in is we've been talking about FlexiColor so much. Looking at these pieces in this screenshot, nothing seems to be FlexiColor, or they just didn't FlexiColor anything.
Yeah,
especially like the thatch roofs. I thought it'd been interesting.
Like the wood in the back there, it seems like a little bit more red.
Oh, you might be right. Yeah, that original structure. Yeah. There you go.
Then again, it's a little bit of a stretch. I know, like the tarps over the
or do you think
mammoth enclosure were flexy. They have to be.
Well, not necessarily, because like the statues, they have different textures, but it seems almost akin to like how the rocks work currently, where there's like preset colors, and you select them, and they have concrete and gold and silver and granite and whatever, and those are the statue colors. So, I don't know.
Ooh, you know something else to speculate about? This shot where we're overlooking, like, a giant body of water. That's a giant body of water just sitting along the path. Do we think that's like a lagoon that, like a mosasaur or something else can go into, or just...
Not right now, because I know they have said already that aquatics aren't going to be even in the, like, release of the game.
So I love that shot with the lights.
Yeah, I do too. It's so cool looking.
Yeah. So obviously, like, early access is going to be next April, and then maybe release might be like that fall if we're lucky. But we're not looking at aquatics for at least a year or two. So
well, at least when we get the beta, and it sounds like we're going to have a funkload of material and things to play with in the beta. It sounds like that might actually last us until the April release date.
That's true. Like, I will say, like, that's going to be a ton of games at once. Not to mention, Simply Zoo is still being planned for this year. I don't know. I don't think Simply Zoo is going to make it this year. But that'd be a lot of games, you know, for roughly the same time area. You know what I mean? Like time frame of release. So it's kind of interesting. And now that the PK trailer is out, I don't know if I want to continue streaming, because we have been going for...
I know, I'm probably about wrapped
while.
up. That's a good point, Bold. Yeah, it looks like one of the different variations is a furry, feathery one for the dinosaurs. That's pretty cool looking. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we talked a lot about PK. So yeah, again, I know people are kind of like whatever, but yeah, I think our overall thing is we're excited for it, very excited for it. Just again, that
and we just want it.
Yeah, the release date being a little bit later than, because personally, yeah, for me, I was expecting an earlier release date, because why would you do this now? Is my thing. We're still how many months away from December? 8, 9, 10, 11,
yeah.
2, like 4 months away from December. It just seems really early to be promoting your game. Well, I guess Jurassic World Evolution is November, so what's the big difference?
Yeah, but that's different because that's a release. They're releasing Jurassic World Evolution in November, and like it's not like, oh, we are revealing that a select, because the other aspect is I don't know how many people are going to be added to the beta. Like I don't know how many people didn't just like bite the bullet and spend the extra, I think it was like $20 to get alpha access. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know how many people are actually going to be added to this beta group. So that's the only questionable thing too, where it's like, it's a trailer, but it's a trailer for people like us who own the game. It's not really a trailer for anyone. Like it's actually kind of lackluster if you're someone who was still wanting to buy the game, because you were expecting I should be able to purchase and play this game by December or earlier, because they were saying, you know, late, I think Q3, early Q4 for the release of early access. Now that's pushed to Q2 of 2022, possibly later. So that could be a bit disappointing. Oh, this is the Jumanji game that I got excited about yesterday, and then it's just a shitty, like, glorified mobile game. But yeah, I don't know, like, because it's just, I'm excited for the game as I always have been. But yeah, I think maybe they should have been a bit more upfront with the community and been like, because I think for as much as we all look on their Discord and look for advice on what the state of the game is, they were always very vague. They would always kind of just be like, oh, we are still aiming for Q3. We are aiming for Q3 still. We are still getting Q3. And now we're at Q2 of next year. So it's like, wait, what? Like, you just delayed it 3 quarters. Like, what happened?
Is that a custom aviary? I just got another view of that aviary that we were looking at earlier.
I believe it's a custom aviary, though.
All right. I just know that we're supposed to have the larger ones in game as well. And we saw... No, I think that's one of the large in-game aviaries, because then after that they show the kookaburra or whatever it is. I think they're showing that same in-game one, unless someone made it null and then made it bigger or built it. Guessing, but in that case, there has to be a large one, because that's way bigger area for the birds to hang out in.
No, because like I made a giant aviary in the alpha, and what you do is you place down a bunch of null smaller aviaries.
Ah, okay.
You fill because I made a huge aviary. I made basically like a pteranodon aviary, and what I did is I filled it with like 5 or 6 null little aviaries. And then, you know, once they're all combined together and null, you can just kind of play the whole game. So, okay, this Jumanji game doesn't look as bad as I thought. It's still not good. It's not what I want, but it's not as bad as I thought.
Are you still watching Gamescom?
Yeah.
What a nerd.
We stopped.
But, yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to probably end it there. So I hope you guys have enjoyed our... Basically just like a long, drawn-out rant stream. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah, what else would you expect from us?
Yeah. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. Again, no videos for the rest of this week. I should mention that. Just because I am working really tirelessly. Drew and Leaf have also been helping me, as well as Bold. I want to shout out Bold as well. And a bunch of other people, Diddums and stuff. Everyone is helping me out with the Safari Pack trailer, so I am working to get that out to you guys before North America. That is my goal. So, yeah. So with that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
I'm going to sign off to my people. I'm going to disconnect for a bit.
Yep.
Cool. All right, yeah, that was fun. That was fun. I like that we sat around all day waiting for the PK trailer when we could have just gotten on for 20 minutes. But hey, what are you gonna do? All right, what are you gonna do? So, but yeah, hey, thanks so much, everyone, for hanging out. Again, just in case I didn't like communicate it well, I am really excited for Prehistoric Kingdom. Everything that they showed off in today's trailer looks really promising. I'm just being selfish. I just want the game now. I just want to play it now is my only thing, basically. So, but yeah, no. So hopefully, yeah, in December we will be playing the heck out of these Prehistoric Kingdom. I almost call it the Safari Pack, but the Prehistoric Kingdom beta, and then we'll also have some Jurassic World Evolution 2 going on as well. Maybe some Planet Zoo DLC stuff. So yeah, December is gonna be a really busy time for the channel. Can't wait. And then yeah, like Nick was saying, we do have the Safari Pack. I'm helping them out now build a Animal Kingdom Lodge. Essentially for the Safari Pack to use, so I'm building that for them, and that'll come out soon. So that's a lot of fun to help out with that. But yeah, so but yeah, other than that, what to expect from the channel? Probably no more streams during the week. I do start a new job this Sunday, and I'm going to be away for conferences all next week until like Friday. So probably there'll be one video. There'll probably be the Monday franchise video, but no streams next week. I'm going to be out of town, out of the city, really far away, and yeah, so but yeah, next week I'll be a little bit inactive, not really around too much, so yeah, there is all that. But yeah, after that I should be coming back and getting my schedule going fine, and hopefully get some streams going and some more regular content and all that kind of fun stuff. So but yeah, hey, let's go ahead and wrap up there, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out. Always do appreciate it. And yeah, don't forget, look out on Monday, this coming Monday, on the channel for, oh, I'm sorry, we have Saturday too. I almost forgot about Saturday. Saturday is our community showcase, of course, at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern. So if you have some stuff you want to submit for that, don't forget to join the Discord. And on Saturday morning, we'll go ahead and look at community showcase, and then Monday we'll do franchise day. So very good. So hey, thanks so much, everyone, for hanging out. Always do appreciate it. And yeah, we will see you later.